Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise! I hope you guys are ready. It is playoff time.
After all the hours, the weeks, the months, it all comes down to this. The journey to the grand finals is almost complete.
Domination. They've done it again! Unbelievable! And the rock stars of the Overwatch League continue to crank out power chords. Ooh, get rocked!
There's only 1 week left, so if you want to stake your claim, cement that legacy, there's no time like the now.
I'm going all the way. I'm going, yeah, my blood is rebel.
We know it won't be easy to hold that trophy, to wear that crown, but if you want it, come and get it.
Welcome to the Overwatch League playoffs by Xfinity, ladies and gentlemen. There's beautiful downtown Los Angeles, California, and here are beautiful Doha and Monte Cristo. We will be guiding you, your shamans, your spirit sort of captains through this wonderful match that is going to be our winners bracket finals. That's right, it's the Vancouver Titans taking on the NYXL. We got the best team from last year, the best team from this year. Who's gonna win?
I don't know. Many people have described me as their spirit animal, though. So
I have seen
it's a good intro.
I've seen it on the Twitters.
Yeah, but coming back, I mean, this is really an extraordinary matchup. We didn't get
Yeah.
to see this matchup in the regular season until the very last day, when it was relatively meaningless for both teams, and yet it still went to those 5 games. So this is going to be really exciting stuff, especially because the NYXL came into these playoffs with very low expectations, not only given their form in Stage 4, but also their, frankly, history of choking in high-pressure situations. But they've really delivered so far.
That's right. Let's take a look at our bracket so we kind of see where things have brought us so far. You can see Titans versus Excelsior. Keep in mind, this is the top 2 teams from each division as well. Pacific and Atlantic clashing now in the winners finals to see who gets that first trip to the grand finals in Philly.
And what's really crazy, though, is we have the first 2 seeds in our winners bracket finals, and the remaining 2 teams are our 3rd and 4th seeds from the regular season. You almost never see this, that the final 4 teams would be the top 4 seeds, especially when we consider the change to roll lock, the change in the meta for Stage 4, the addition of Sigma, and yet these teams that were on top of the regular season have made it the deepest in the playoffs so far. Last year, we had our 5th and 6th, our bottom 2 seeds in the grand finals, so big change.
Hey, that's called meta-proof, right? And when you look at a team like NYXL, sometimes you kind of wonder if that's a title you can kind of apply to them, especially after how their Stage 4 went. But here in the playoffs, Sabielby is really showing up again. He's played like every map, I believe, in the playoffs, and the guy's been killing it.
Yeah, and it's been a big turnaround for him because in Stage 4, Sabielby, he only played 5 maps, but he only won 35% of his team fights. Now in the playoffs, he's played 11 maps, and he's up to 60%. So Sabielby has really stepped up when it matters most, and he's doing a great job of carrying this team. And if we look at his stats compared to Selman Su, the Reaper player of the Vancouver Titans, notice those highlighted stats. Much more damage taken, much more healing received. And what this means is that he's getting pocketed very heavily. So he is the focus of a lot of the heals. He's the one who's going in, whereas Libero is the one who's staying a little bit back and looking for those openings. We typically think about the NYXL as a very reactive team, waiting for their opponents to make a mistake before going in, whereas the Titans are a team that likes to play aggressively. They want to go in and make you make a mistake instead.
And the thing is, so far that has worked actually for the Vancouver Titans. These teams have met twice this season, and the Titans have won both times. They won in the Stage playoffs earlier, and they also won in the Stage 4 regular season match. You can see in the Stage 2 semifinals, it was a 4-1 victory. It was a 3-2, much more narrow victory for the Titans in Stage 4. But, you know, again, that was a match that didn't really mean anything, quote unquote. According to the standings and all that, it was kind of just sort of a show for the fans, but it was an exciting match. I kind of hope we go the distance again today, but I think the vibe is going to be different. They're going to be out for blood today.
Yeah, and a lot of the difference now, especially for the Vancouver Titans, they're riding this wave of the Haksal Doomfist. This guy was a legend before he entered the Overwatch League for his Genji play, and there's a lot of similarities in the way that he plays the Genji and the Doomfist. Notably, what I mean is in Genji, you kind of have to have a 3-dimensional map in your mind of where the the enemy team's players are, so you can get resets and make the most out of your mobility. And he still has that mental map with the Doomfist. He is so aware of the players around him and the space, and he just seems to like map out these three-dimensional trajectories in his mind for Doomfist and also for his Genji.
It's impressive. And you can see those stats that you think would correlate with that thing you just described do in fact correlate. Hero damage, the most per 10. Eliminations, the most per 10 in the league right now. So he's definitely making it work. And like you said, there's a lot of similarities with the Genji and all that too, because you got to go behind people with the Genji. Doomfist is good at sneaking up behind as well. But yeah.
Yeah, it's really exciting. So Haksal, definitely the player you want to look out for, and he's going to be the more aggressive Doomfist in this matchup.
Right.
He's going to be the one going in and looking to make the play, whereas typically we think of Libero as the one who's waiting for the other team to come in, and he's the punisher, not really the aggressive actor. So really big difference in styles between the Titans and the NYXL tonight.
That's right. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to introduce our two teams in this series. First, we'll introduce a team on top of the Atlantic Division, a team that was denied a spot at the finals in their own home city. Can they get to the finals this season? Let's hear it for the NYXL. And you can see Sabi will be leading the charge, taking the stage again quite a bit in the playoffs. I think you really have to mention Meko as well when you talk about this NYXL team right now. Their tank line has been doing great. Meko, especially on the Sigma, has made such a smooth and effective transition away from the other heroes like the Diva. Looking really good.
Yeah, and speaking of Meko, right now he has a 73% teamfight win rate with Gravitic Flux. That means he's 13.1% over their teamfight win average. So if he uses that Flux, their chance to win a teamfight goes up 13% over their average. You compare that to Janu. When Janu uses Gravitic Flux, it's only 1.9% additional. So really big difference. NYXL has been much better at playing around Sigma ults and turning them into teamfight wins.
Their opponents, though, are not going to get pushed over easily. A team that was known as Runaway back in Korea that dominated the Korean Overwatch scene. Now they have dominated the Overwatch League scene. Can they complete it with a trip to the Grand Finals? Let's hear it for the Vancouver Titans. And notably, I would say with this team, perhaps the biggest surprise going into the playoffs is the inclusion of TZ at main tank over Bumper in a lot of maps.
Yeah, it has been a surprise. TZ was cut last year, signed and cut last year by the London Spitfire, has now rejoined the Overwatch League under the aegis of the Vancouver Titans.
Yeah.
And you have to think, Vancouver thinks he's going to be the better Orisa player in this meta. And he's been pretty good.
Yeah. He has. He's currently one of our stats leaders on that Orisa, actually, and just kind of generally has a very good sense of when to walk forward, I think, especially. And he's going up against a tough opponent as well, because Mono, known for years and years as one of the best main tanks across a multitude of different heroes in Overwatch. You can see the stat comparison, though. Right now, TZ looking a little bit on top.
Yeah, the only category he's not ahead of is in the deaths per 10 minutes, where he's dying a little bit more than Mono, which you expect as the more aggressive team.
Yeah.
But Mono, who we think about, as you say, is one of the very best tanks in this league, is a little bit down in terms of stats right now on TZ.
Right, they're kind of two sides of the same coin, where they're both two main tanks that are exceedingly good at knowing their limits, but one likes to take that and play it to a more defensive trajectory, and the other likes to go the opposite, be a little bit more aggressive. So it's an excellent main tank matchup in this series. It is one of the many, many, many things I'm incredibly excited about watching today.
Yeah, and the lower stats, especially in damage, make sense for Mono, because a lot of the time NYXL will be playing around the map architecture and terrain.
Yeah.
So they're going to be hiding around a corner until you make an error, and then they're going to engage. So you don't necessarily have that same level of damage output when you play in that style.
So our map set brought to you by Toyota. We're going to go to Lijiang Tower first, chosen by our higher seed. And from then on, it will be the loser of the map that picks the next one. So it gets it done on Control to get themselves one step closer to the Overwatch League 2019 Grand Finals. It's a first to 4 today. 4 map wins will get you there. But how many maps is going to take us to get there? That's the question. We've gone up to 8 in the playoffs already.
I think NYXL coming in may have a little bit more strategic diversity that we've seen when it comes to running a lot of these Bastion compositions. Vancouver Titans, they've really doubled down on what we're seeing right now, which is going to be the Doomfist and the Reaper. Don't worry, Summonsoo will switch over after using the Symmetra teleport to the Reaper.
Bit of a boost on the distance anyway.
Yep, gonna go ahead
there.
And this is very important because it allows you to get the presence on the point just a little bit faster than your opponents.
Yeah.
As you can see right now, they're already threatening it, putting some damage in from the angle. But
Whoa.
Libero's going to take out Twilight. They were split up.
Oh, that is huge,
That's a
too,
big
because
error.
so many of these fights really are determined by who gets the first coalescence, and if you lose your Moira, you're in huge trouble.
They were-
Massive pick for New York.
Yeah, Vancouver Titans were split around the choke point right there, and looked like Twilight just a little bit too far forward and caught out, and they are not going to get a chance to take the point because the Titans will re-engage.
They're going back in again, but Teasy's really low. Watch that health. He's getting a little bit of healing now, and it's going to be Liberal and Hoxall both falling simultaneously here as the teams make it a Doomfist-less 5v5. Mono, though, finally taken out by Teasy. That aggression coming through like we talked about. Vancouver Titans still having to dodge around this coalescence. We talked about Jonak getting his faster, but now that they didn't really lose anyone from that, the Vancouver Titans are going to come back with Twilights in just a moment. Maybe it'll be enough to take this point.
Yeah, they've been forced back, though, and now the later coalescence comes in from the side of the Titans. Twilight died first, so it took longer to charge.
That's it, and they are shoving XL back. Both Reapers fall now, and here comes the sound bear for Animo. Slime is going to have his right at the moment, uses it immediately upon getting it. And there's Janu with the Gravitic Flux, takes out Mono, and after this incredibly long back and forth battle, it will be the Titans eventually securing the point for themselves.
And they flipped it earlier, so already up to 16%. Excellent re-engage there from the side of the Vancouver Titans. Coming back because they realized they had enough time just to get presence on the point before Twilight could return. NYXL may have wanted to push that a little bit harder. Remember, when you lose your Moira first, you're out a lot of healing, and Excelsior, they did not punish that enough.
I agree. I'm really surprised that they didn't take that opportunity to go for the big 6v5 push, but played it safe and a little bit too safe maybe. Here we go, another coalescence coming in from Jonak now, trying to get a lot of damage through the shields onto the back lines. That all does pierce that, so it does help a little bit with that. And now the engage. Here comes the Doomfist. Hoxall going in, just placing members of the New York Excelsior, leading into that three-man meteor strike. Massacre indeed. Vancouver Titans crush that team fight. Here's the part where we mentioned Hoxall's name in Korean means massacre.
It does.
And that's why. That's why, ladies and gentlemen.
Just living up to his namesake right there. Titans use a lot of ultimates on that engage. You can see XL, though, maintaining that coalescence advantage, meaning that they are getting just a few more of those Moira ultimates per fight. Because of Twilight's early deaths, they're going to come in again.
Oh, Janu extremely low. Can the Titans keep him alive? Libero, though, no. The Titans turn it around and get a kill of their own. Gravitic Flux comes in for Meko, but didn't really get anything out of that one. Now the Titans can re-engage half health on their tanks, but they're okay. Somansu comes in. Sable will be trying to flip this fight, but only gets one. Only a kill onto Teasy. Maybe with the support ultimates used, they can turn it around onto the Titans. New York still has some meat in the fight, but no, now that Slime pops his ult, that's going to be all she wrote, man. New York is going to push back, and that was really the last fight. They had a chance at winning. It's going to be all cleanup now for the Titans. If they can just kill these few more members of the Excelsior, they can secure round one here, and it's looking elementary. Jonak zoned out by that meteor strike, and a turn right around for the kill on Sable be Teasy, picking up 2 at the end there, and that should be about it for round one. The Titans coming out in the lead.
The Titans dominant, 100-0, even though there were some teamfight wins in there from the NYXL. Titans so good at playing around the objective, getting back to the point in time, that they don't actually give up any control of that point whatsoever.
Yeah, you know, I feel like there were teamfight wins, but they were just not full teamfight wins. They were like little teamfight victories, but they lost the teamfight war, if you know what I mean.
I think NYXL really missed out. They had to push that advantage that they got at the very start harder.
Couldn't agree more.
Yeah, there's just not enough healing when your Moira dies early in those fights, so it should be, at that point, an easy win, but they weren't willing to play aggressively. Probably XL thought that they were going to be able to flip the point or capture it before Twilight got back, but that wasn't the case.
That's right. Same compositions again. The Symmetra's just boosting the team out with the TP. Teleport around.
Yep, and they are just going to use the Shadow Step on the Reaper, so those going to be both teams using the Symmetra this time.
Yeah, early aggression coming in. Mono really low. They got to keep the tanks alive. Meanwhile, the Rock comes in onto Janu. He gets taken down to nearly no health. Luckily, he's got the kinetic grasp to get himself a bit more shields that keeps him alive. And now Mono down. Hoxall comes in for the assassination. And already, NYXL pushed back. And they're on the retreat. Whoa, Hoxall! Rocket punch to get himself back to safety, but that's it. No safety for the New York Excelsior, meanwhile. And it is going to be the Titans taking the point first.
I mean, Mono got chunked out very early on because Hoxall's just running into them. The Titans aren't giving them a lot of space in order to react. You'll notice the way the Titans are playing is just running at that front line right now and opening up space for Hoxall to make some plays. So with Mono very low at the start of the engagement, they have to pull back. They no longer have that Orisa to hide behind, and Hoxall's able to re-engage once his cooldowns are back up and pick off the main tank of the XL.
Both teams going to be counting on the support ultimates in this next fight. Anamo and Jonak a little bit farther along, Slime lagging behind, and a sound barrier that might make a difference. We'll see if it does. As the fight begins, Twilight using his Coalescence to keep New York bottled up. There is a Gravitic Flux used by Janu. No kills out of that one. Excelsior returns their favor with their own Moira ultimate. Old Doofus picking up kills here, but there goes Mono. The crucial main tank down Sominsu. The aggression working out.
Titans are playing this so much better, Noah.
Oh, yeah.
When we look at what's going on right now, so you see they're going to make a trade, and the trade is Vancouver Titans lose their Doomfist, but they keep their Reaper. Now, NYXL going to lose that Reaper very early on. And Titans, when they have that advantage, so if they just wait at the point, they're basically opening up an opportunity for the enemy Doomfist to get picks. So they have to play aggressively with the sustained damage, and they just charge right in. They don't even give Libero a chance to hit another Rocket Punch. Summon-Su, do they check their corners?
Doomfist, he's just going in! Booped away, but a lot of damage was done there. Can the Vancouver Titans follow up? Maybe, I don't know, Supercharger used, but there goes Mono. Hoxall finally gets a killing blow, and New York was not prepared for that Doomfist around the corner. Here comes a Meteor Strike. Which way is it gonna go? Who's he gonna choose? Gonna land right on Meko, gets stunned by the rock. Has to try to get out of there. A little bit of shields, but not enough to, oh, he does, no, he doesn't get away. Meko comes in for the killing blow anyway. Janu and TZ respond, though. The aggression from the tanks on the Titan side of things certainly carrying through, and they're over 90% right now. If New York does not win a fight right now, and they may off the back of Libero, New York's gonna lose this point, but no, they're switching around. Doomfist got in the back lines.
That's right, Doa, and the difference there is Vancouver Titans were trying to control that choke point, but their supports were pretty far back. Libero realized that if he flanked around to the backside of the point, he was going to have a really good angle on some of those supports. So watch, he's gonna come all the way back around during that Gravitic Flux, and he says, all right, let's make some plays back here. Gets TZ first, there's the Moira and the Lucio as well. He's gonna pick up the support kills. So this is the kind of play that can punish the Titans. If they get spread out like that and go too aggressive at these chokes, you got to make the flank plays. Libero reacts and he gets the elims.
Yeah, traditionally Libero's been one of those players in Overwatch that's been able to pick up a lot of different heroes really quickly, and usually playing the heroes that are less played initially. Coming up big with extra Doomfist experience. Sabe will be the kill on the Sominsu as we start things off. Twilight, ultimate onto his. Let's see if Libero can get anything out of this. Meteor Strike doesn't matter. He gets Hoxall, but the fight already won by New York. Now the question is, can Vancouver bring it back?
4 ults used by the NYXL there. Sabilby and Animo, the only ones not to use theirs, and they're not very close either. Not sure you needed that Meteor Strike to finish up on the Flux. Titans, though, they could just play an eco push right here, see if they can get a team fight, and then come back right before we hit 99-99.
I mean, they may just be able to poke a little bit, pick up some ultimates as well.
It's not looking great for the XL.
Now they're getting aggressive. Sabe will be in the back lines. They got to worry about that a little bit. He's going to have to Wraith form back to his team.
They don't have any cover though, Doa. If he gets the Death Blossom, there's nothing to protect him during the animation.
That's the scary part, right? Sabe will be close to his own Death Blossom. Slime uses the sound barrier early, and now Sabe will be coming on the back lines. Once again, that ultimate. As soon as he kills that Supercharger, a couple more kills, nearly gets booped off the edge, and Libero gets a kill on the Twilight. The distraction from Sableby, that's enough. Goes and uses his ultimate anyway. No one really around for the Titans. That was puzzling. And now Hoxall coming back with the 2K, so maybe the Titans can actually turn this around, make it 3, and Meko's off the edge, and the Titans, they flip the point, and despite the heroics from Libero, it looks like New York's gonna be giving this one up again, and this may be a 2-0 for the Titans.
It is going to be a 2-0 for the Titans, so they just got to finish off Sabilby, who's in that Wraith form. He's going to fall, and that should be about it. Unless they can get that Doomfist out of the point, they cannot.
And the Titans take a commanding early lead. That was, you know, aside from a few fights, pretty dominant by Vancouver.
Totally agreed. It was really clean execution for the Titans, who are just playing this hyper-aggressive style of the choke points. And NYXL, they are not adapting to this right now. They need to fall back, give a little room. And also just a misplay at the end there. When you have that sound barrier and the Death Blossom, it has to be effective, and it wasn't.
That's the thing, New York, with some things to clean up. While we're on break, we'll see if they can do just that in Map 2 when we return.
The Overwatch League is powered by Intel. Game, record, stream without compromise on Intel Core i7.
Omen, the official PC and display of the Overwatch League. And by ZipChair Gaming.
the official chair supplier of the Overwatch League.
They don't just play for a team. They play for every fan, every rival, every moment, every match. And when everyone watching expects the best, they perform with the best.
Oh, that's right, the grand finals, guys. September 29th, 3 p.m. Eastern. I cannot wait for that, man. That is going to be an incredible match, no matter who makes it.
Yeah, I love the double elimination system. It will offer probably some very interesting storylines, of course.
Already is.
In this match today, the losing team is not eliminated because we are in the winner's bracket final, so they will go on to play the winner of the Spark versus the Shock on Sunday.
Yep.
So very exciting stuff. So another chance for either the Titans or the NYXL to go ahead and make those finals in Philadelphia.
That's right. So one of the things we talked about before the series was the Sigma play on both of these teams' side, and we were speaking very well of Meko, but it was all Janu in that first map.
And look at this too. Gravitic Flux kills 9-2, Accretion kills 6-1. And why this is important, especially the Accretion kills, is that this is the major stun in the meta composition that's happening right now.
And look at those Hypersphere direct hits,
Yes.
116 to 67. That is just unbelievable accuracy,
Yeah.
Janu.
It also comes down to the fact that the Titans had 42 eliminations to 19 of the NYXL, so definitely does help when you have a higher amount of eliminations. But Accretion is so important because that's the major way that you're going to be stunning the Doomfist. You're going to be stopping the Death Blossom a lot of the time.
Yeah.
And so Accretion kills means that if someone's hit by Accretion, within 5 seconds if they die, that counts as an Accretion kill. So you really want to have that teamwork focusing down on that Sigma Rock ability in order to take out the target. But that wasn't there, and they are going to need much more out of Meko to shut down Huxall.
Absolutely. You know, another thing to talk about with those hyper spears on Sigma's kit is that those slightly pull you towards the center when they detonate. So it's a way to really kind of mess up people's aim and positioning too if you're hitting a lot of those. So that can have an effect over the course of a map.
It'll be King's Row here, selected by the New York Excelsior.
Going to our hybrid map.
Now remember, Vancouver Titans did not lose on this map until these playoffs. So they are 11-1 overall, as you can see on your screen lower left. New York Excelsior 6-3, still respectable, but they have to overcome one of the Titans' strongest maps. They're very good at hybrid in general. Of course, Titans also famous for their Numbani play.
Well, it's just, you know, it's just one of those maps too that everybody kind of feels comfortable on, you know? If you want to get back in a series, you don't even maybe look at the win record on that. You just kind of say, you know what? We feel really good on King's Row because it's been around forever. It's a great map.
Well, also, one of the hallmarks of the NYXL in this playoffs has been the Bastion pickup. Looks like they're not going to go for it this time around.
Too bad.
Instead, it's going to be more Doomfist Reaper. Not sure about this from the NYXL. There are often places, especially on the high ground on this map, that you can post up a Bastion. It is viable on a attack.
Especially when teams have started using the Symmetra to kind of teleport the Bastion around in turret form.
Yeah, Symmetra and Bastion is a composition we've seen from the NYXL.
Yeah, that's right. Excelsior getting aggressive here. Hawksall has to back away. Doesn't really get anything with that early rocket punch now. Libero just waiting for the flank opportunity here. Yeah, coming in from behind New York. Loading up a shot onto the Sigma. Does some damage here, but not enough to kill him. Janu gets out. Oh, he gets stunned with the rock, but no one there for the follow-up from Vancouver. Another rocket punch loaded up. Here comes an early coalescence from Jonak, and Janu is already down. New York looking really good in the 6v5, but they got to keep that aggression going. They've got the Titans bottled back up in the hotel. Nice rocket punch. Good damage onto TZ, and Meko there with the follow-up. That is the damage that he was lacking in that first map, and it looks like New York is going to get the payload moving quick. Yeah,
great job of playing the terrain, playing that angle right there. And one thing about the Vancouver Titans is oftentimes you cannot play as aggressively as we saw on that last map when they're on defense. So, you know, they have to play the point, they have to play the objective just a little bit better, and that time around to pick off good from the NYXL, they force them all back into the hotel, and when they come out, there's already a rocket punch from Libero locked and loaded.
You know, you and I were talking during the break, and you were saying, you know, well, that looked like a good map for Vancouver, but they can't keep playing that way in some of these other maps. I feel like we're casting that there. Oh, that's a big gravitic flux.
Nice sound barrier.
That's right, Janu. Up in the air, Slime manages to get the shield on people in just the nick of time. Animo responds with his as well. Here comes a meteor strike right down on that poor supercharger. And Sabielby following up with the 3K onto the Vancouver Titans. Man, the damage from the meteor strike was there, but then the Death Blossom sowed a garden of death among the Vancouver Titans lines.
And a beautiful garden of death it was for the NYXL. They're coming back in, but they used a lot of ults on that fight. Take a look at the Titans. Gravitic Flux from Janu Sigma going to be available. They're a little bit behind on the Coalescence though, but if they can pick up a lot of members from the XL, this is where you want to defend if you're the team, the defending team. Long run back from spawn for the attackers, New York.
Yep, pretty much. Here comes the Coalescence from the Titans now. Coalescence now from Jonak as well on their Moira. Dueling beams. We've seen a lot of in the playoffs. Oh, that's a hit and a miss, or swing and a miss rather from Janu. Soman Su trying to pick up the slack, but no, he only gets one. Might be enough for the Titans if Hawksall can complete these kills. It looks like he's going to get some help, and New York turning it around. Libero again. Hawksall on the back lines, but he's got to be a one-man army, and it's just not enough. New York takes B.
Yeah, you hate to see it, Doa, at this level of play when there's no flux given from the Sigma player.
That's it. Yeah, it was a weird flux, and it was not okay.
It was definitely not okay.
Yep.
You know, catching no one really, it limits the amount of crowd control you're going to get, and obviously the damage as well. But critically for NYXL, their Moira and 2 damage dealers stay alive, so they just collapse on that cart.
Here we go, Gravitic Flux now from Meko. Gives the toss in the rock at the end of that save. Will be down, though, as the Meteor Strike comes in from Hawks on the back lines. He's got, like, no health left. Finally gets a little bit from the health back. Needs to do more, though. No, he's back to spawn as Libero picks up another kill. And New York looking pretty unstoppably here. Pushed off the payload for the moment, but they are pushing again with earnest. They've got the Coalescence to follow up with. That's a lot of damage. Now Libero going in. Here comes a Meteor Strike yet again. Just zoning a little bit. Goes down. A halt leads to a kill onto TZ. And Libero has just been lighting up the Titans in this round. It's been crazy. Sabielby getting in the back lines now. Using that ultimate, now they've got the sound barrier to keep everybody on New York safe. And they get Soman out of the back lines here. They've only got to push it a little bit farther.
Mono needs to be careful right now, needs to get back to his teammate, does get a little bit of healing. Summon Su will be the latest casualty on the side of the Titans.
Oh, Slime, who manages to slide away in the nick of time. Supercharger under threat. Sableby has a Ray form on before he gets it. Libero, meanwhile, gets another kill onto Hawksaw and one onto Slime. Libero has been owning on this Doomfist, his positioning, his mechanics. Crazy. And now with another coalescence from Jonak, New York pushing forward one more time.
This should be it, unless the Titans can clutch it out right now. They should finally be able to crack this defense by the spawn.
I mean, that meteor strike might have been celebration fireworks from New York, as now they just have to pick up a couple more strikes.
Oh, he missed!
To end this one, but that rocket punch, it did not connect, and now Somensu coming back in again.
Oh, no.
Titans turning it around. Goodbye, Mono, and it was so close, but New York couldn't quite seal the deal.
They couldn't. Janu switched back over to the Wrecking Ball in order to stall, but critically, Hawksaw found the pickup onto Anamo. NYXL used everything that they had, but as we saw some swaps, Vancouver Titans, when they switch heroes, do reset their ultimate meters.
Yeah.
So Janu now back down to 0% on that Sigma.
That was so clutch. In the end by Janu with the swap. And now New York. They've still got 2:45 left in the clock, which is kind of crazy. It shows you just how good their time bank was.
Yeah, they got the coalescence to push in right here. A couple opportunities. If I want to push up to the supercharger.
Yep, moving forward now on the back of that coalescence. Sableby trying to build up to his ultimate as well. Here we go. Now the coalescence from the Titans as they try to just delay, and the aggression from Hawksaw comes in, trying to get the back lines a little bit. The Doomfist dueling on the point while we watch Sableby take the high ground. He's going to jump down from on high, get in the back lines. He's got to contend with the shield. He's going to try to burn it away with his Death Blossom. Does some damage, but no kills. Hawksaw does get a crucial one on the Libero, though. And there goes Teasy. Sableby leading the charge. Meteor Strike not doing enough for the Titans, and it's a last resort. That's another Graviton or Gravitic Surge, too, from Meko that didn't hit anything. He got kills out of it, or kills out of the following damage anyway, and it looks like that might be enough. Meko with another switch, or that's Teasy now on the Wrecking Ball.
Meko just clutched that out, Doa. Yep. They had lost their damage dealers if they did not get those kills. Goodbye, says Libero. That's it. Finally, NYXL will finish King's Row. But it took probably about a minute and a half longer than they would have liked. And if it hadn't been that crazy clutch by Meko there, it would have been a very different story.
Main tank in the corner pocket, and New York managed to take 3 points. We'll see what Vancouver can do on their attack in just a moment.
Support your team with the official Overwatch League Coca-Cola bottles at CokeStore.com. Ships to all 50 U.S. states, Washington, D.C., and U.S. P.O. boxes.
New York Excelsior with a respectable time in the time bank as they take their 3 points on their King's Row attack. 144 for them.
Workable, but the thing is that we expect the Vancouver Titans to be better on their attack rounds than on their defense rounds. A lot of what we saw in that control map was Good job by the Titans when they were dealing with choke points in the NYXL and playing aggressively as the NYXL tried to filter through those chokes. Now, that's a lot harder to do if you lose the wrong team fights because the payload keeps moving, so you can fight anywhere along that course that the payload rolls. And if you lose the right fight, then you can't respawn in time to fight them at the choke point in the same way. So sometimes you have to take fights in more open ground, and I think that's where the Titans really didn't do very well.
Well, I mean, Libero is just owning Hoxall in the 1v1 over and over again. Sadly, no Omnics allowed in that bookstore? Why would you not allow Omnics in a bookstore? It's like, oh no, we don't want them to gain any more knowledge to enslave humanity or something.
I mean, why would they even need to read books? They can just download the information.
Yeah, exactly. That's a thoroughly unnecessary sign.
Why would there
I'm
be?
disappointed.
Why would there be an Omnic in a bookstore? Who knows?
Maybe he works in the bookstore.
That's true.
It's possible. Not that bookstore.
Definitely not that one.
Other bookstores. Better bookstores. New York Excelsior on the defense. Going for the same composition. No Bastion spotted as of yet. And we'll see what the Vancouver Titans can do on their attack. On the Spitfire logo. Probably courtesy of TZ. Yep, that's right. Thought you cut me? Oh, well, look where I am now, guys. Look where you are. Oh, I like it.
I like the manners. All right.
Style is there.
So we do see first poke damage going down from both of these teams. Wow, NYXL playing very aggressively, just going in.
Yeah, they almost gave Somansu a beautiful flank, though, too. They might have been trying to bait him in. Either way, neither team did not the kill just yet, although Libero a little bit low, got some shield. Somansu just putting on a lot of damage from the side, and now Vancouver Titans just steamrolling their way right through. They're on the point. Going to be a high ground attempt. Twilight gets some healing in. There's an early coalescence. Actually, both Moiras get theirs at about the same time. Got to keep TZ and the Doomfist alive, though. And they're getting a little bit low. New York coming back. Libero with that meteor strike. Oh, the halt! The halt brought in a 2K opportunity for the New York Doomfist. And that is going to send the Titans right back to spawn.
Yeah, right there we saw Somansu use that shadow step onto the high ground to try and get behind the XL formation. But, you know, that really wasn't necessary, Doa, because all he needs to do is push them off the point and threaten around that corner. So I don't think that's the best play coming in from the Titans. And instead we saw, on the other side, Sebilby get around the flank and then combine with the meteor strike in order to pick up the kills onto the Titans.
Yeah, that would have been a 3K if Somansu didn't have his Wraith form up. That was like just a great ult for Mono. All right, Gravitic Flux brings a couple up in the air. They've got the shield, though. Animo, meanwhile, goes down, and now the Titans are looking pretty good. And Animo dying with his ultimate up did not do the New York Excelsior any favors. Looks like that payload's going to be rolling shortly.
Hoxall with the big opening pickoff there makes the difference for the Vancouver Titans. Takes out the support with the ultimate, and that means there's not enough protection. It also means the Titans are able to save their Gravitic Flux. They don't have to use it in that engagement. Excelsior coming back with a lot of ults, though. Critical ones as well. Support ults to give the healing or the shields. In the case of the Lucio ultimate, as well as that supercharger.
Yeah, New York's going to be looking for a forward defense here. If you can stop the payload here, even if you eventually lose a team fight, you still guarantee yourself at least one more fight on B.
Yeah, this is perfect for the XL, though, because they have a choke point that they can play with the supercharger and the coalescence.
Yeah, exactly. All right, Gravitic Flux gets used. 3 up in the air. Fortify gets used. There's the sound barrier now from Animo. Keeps everybody safe. Somansu has to back away. The Vancouver Titans giving New York a little bit more ground. They're regrouping. They're happy to at least get the sound barrier out.
And notice that they made that trade intentionally without using the supercharger. So good heads-up play there by the Titans.
Coalescence now, and there's the supercharger from TZ. Hoxall on the back lines again. Oh, he dodges a rock. Nice meteor strike to do just that. Somansu comes in with the Death Blossom, and Hoxall comes down for another 2K. Titans trying to keep that payload moving, and it looks like they will.
This ult economy has been beautiful from the Titans. I mean, they are so calculated when they come into these engagements. They know what's going to happen. Notice how they engage. They come in with Janu. Go ahead and use that Gravitic Flux, which forces the sound barrier. XL overcommits by using a supercharger. Titans back off while the sound barrier and the supercharger of their opponents are going away. Then they re-engage with the supercharger of their own. That is exactly how you want to sequence the ultimates if you are the Titans in that scenario.
Yep. That's right. Now New York getting bounced around, jostled a little bit as the Titans come rocking in with their sound barrier. Oh, nice kill on Nemeko. That's huge. Libero falls as well. Hoxall with another great position coming in onto Mono. And that wasn't even really a fight. That was just a slaughter.
Well, what are you going to do? The XL committed all of their ultimates to that last defense. And Titans, they just held that sound barrier in their back pocket, knowing that there was going to be nothing the Excelsior could do to deal with that. So this has been just a wonderful snowball of ult economy that we've seen on the side of Vancouver.
Yeah, now approaching point C. They're in there with 4 minutes in the time bank. Crazy advantage if they can complete this one. And we talked about this too, that their strength is going to be in their attack run. They've certainly shown that so far. Gravitic Surge comes in. Do they get any kills? Janu down. That's a big one for Mecco, and they're going to send the Reaper into the back lines as well. And it looks like Vancouver finally going to be going back to spawn, and that Coalescence, you know, it did help them pick up an exit kill, I suppose, but you probably want to hold on to that one.
I mean, the lucky thing is the Titans also committed their Coalescence to that last engagement.
Sure.
And XL, you'll notice Mecco actually dodged the rocket punch from Hoxall by using his ultimate to fly into the air. So the engage from Hoxall did nothing, and they're able to punish the backline by using the flux from Mecco.
Whoa, what a rocket punch from Libero. Just lines it up, perfectly hit. And now goes down another halt, brings in a kill on the Slime. Libero and Mono have combined for so many kills that have turned into teamfight wins. What a dynamic duo on this map.
Also, I think you have to be slightly critical of Twilight's positioning. A couple of these fights, yeah, you know, they didn't lose that first point on control, but that was a mispositioning from Twilight on that Moira. There again, he's very far forward, and they're not respecting Libero, who can come in at a right angle and take him out.
Yeah, not sure if he had the bait or not, but definitely didn't use it there. Supercharger.
Going after Twilight again.
Yeah, they're going to try. He's targeting a little bit. Getting that Moira out of the way is huge. Now they get the Orisa out of the way instead. New York going to be happy with that one. Here comes the Meteor Strike, but it doesn't matter. Libero gets a kill on the Hoxall anyway in New York. Going to send the Titans back to spawn again. 2:30 on the clock, unless the Titans take this one fast. New York looking at maybe having a better time in the time bank.
I don't think they can take it fast enough, Doa, with the cart rolling backwards nearly to the start of point C. But that said, XL has no resources available to them. They're going to have to play more passively on this next defense.
Yep. Hull brings some people into the damage there. Now Summon Zoo comes in with the Death Blossom, Twilight with the kill on the Jonex. So now the Titans getting 3, and that's going to be enough to get this payload moving. But it's like you said, New York just didn't really comparatively have those tools.
No, they had nothing to work with right there. So Titans, you know, they get good value out of that attack, though. Not using too many critical ultimates, and again, saving that sound barrier, which is often so important to being able to jam that payload into the next objective.
A little bit delayed as Slime had to go back to ferry Teasy back to the fight on the Orisa. Died, now they're setting up again. As the Hulk comes in, right into the Gravitic Surge, and that's gonna be a couple kills from New York. Whoa, Sabiel B, it's his turn. And New York pushing the Titans back again.
It's a big reset on the side of the NYXL as they get all 6 members to complete the team kill. And if we come back, XL now firmly in the lead, about 4 ults up on this next fight. Vancouver Titans are going to be lucky to recover their ult economy by the time we head into OT in the next minute. That might have been the fight the XL needed to win King's Row.
Someone Zoo loaded up, or Sabiel B rather, loaded up with the ultimate. Hellfire Shotgun's thirst for the blood of Vancouver Titans. They back off a little bit. Now going forward with the Coalescence. Jonak down, big pick for Somitsu, but here comes Sabiel B in the back lines, gets 1 before he's taken out. Libero, though, following it up 2 for 2. It's going to be New York with a slight numbers disadvantage here as they have to give some ground to the Titans, but only 45 seconds remaining for Vancouver. And Animo comes in with the bloodthirsty 2K. Vancouver having a lot of trouble getting the job done.
And they couldn't push onto the payload because they didn't have the Orisa there. They tried to go aggressive, but Animo, out of all people on that low damage support, Lucio, comes up with the Olymps. Do or die now for the Titans. Take a look at where they are. They've got Flux, that's something, but they're playing into that sound barrier.
They must win the fight. Libero doesn't hit the rocket punch to begin things, doesn't hit the uppercut either. He's got the Meteor Strike to come down, waiting for it. There's the halt. Good damage on that one, but the shield saving some lives. That said, Janu already down, and there goes everybody else. New York Excelsior, in the end, will hold, and they will tie up this series. Nobody touches the payload, and this could go the distance.
Beautiful map from the NYXL, playing a little bit more aggressively right there, adapting to what we saw from the Titans and their aggressive play in map 1, and that means we are all tied up heading into our first break.
Yeah, wow. Thrilling match so far. This is everything I expected and more. Don't go anywhere, guys. We'll be back with more action right after this.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by T-Mobile, now connecting 99% of Overwatch League fans. Catch your league on America's network, T-Mobile. State Farm. Whatever life brings your way, State Farm is here to help life go right. Xfinity. Xfinity X5 gives you the speed you need to game like a pro.
And by Toyota, official North American partner of the Overwatch League. Toyota, let's go places.
Did you see the game last night? Sinatra's gonna get MVP this year.
There's no way Sinatra wins MVP.
What are you talking about? Have you been watching the same
Bumper
game?
has been so clutch for the Titans, putting up insane numbers.
I think you're both wrong. Jonak, still the MVP. Also, first match starts in an hour. See you there.
The real MVP is the Yada Chad Amon.
It's number 1 versus number 2, and this one is definitely living up to the hype. After the Titans took map 1, it was the New York Excelsior staying strong on defense, taking Kings Road and evening things up at 1 apiece. Hello, everybody. Welcome back into the Blizzard Arena. The final 3 days here in the Blizzard Arena, and tonight might be the best. We got the winners bracket finals, number 1 versus number 2, and these two are just trading blows. It's like watching a heavyweight fight.
It's been so good. I mean, the expectations for this match were enormous. Always a possibility for New York to flop like we saw in the pre-show, but they haven't done so far.
Now, Josh, we did see New York come out strong, right? They were the first team in the kill feed for our first map, but it was the Titans turning the fight and then taking the game. Walk us through, how did this happen?
Yeah, it was such an unusual fight to open out Lijiang, so I've got an Insights powered by Intel where I want to run you through really what happened and how the Titans recovered, because they look like they're absolutely composed to perfection. So look at this, the control point is about to unlock, and immediately what you're going to see is a punch across the map coming out from Libero. Scores this first pick, Twilight's down, so the whole of the Vancouver Titans now have to retreat, and they're going to find their way back outside. But as Twilight comes off the respawn with the control point about to unlock, that's when the Vancouver Titans recontest, push back in, and start a battle over the first point. You very, very rarely see this happen, because with one player down, and look at how far away Twilight is, they lack so much healing. But thanks to some fantastic tank play, in particular, I want to point out this play here from Janu, because as Mano puts his shield down aggressively here, this shield from the Orisa, shield from the Sigma, really deep placements, but the rock comes comes out from Janu and pushes these guys back and changes the lines of battle completely. Now they're pushed all the way back to here. This shield totally useless for Mano, and he ends up going down as the first elimination. Well, not the first elimination, the Doofus both trade for each other. But the first real big elimination is Mano going down here without his shield. And Janu does so much work, so much damage. Look at how much of his ult charge he's managed to gain. 75% compared to 38% up here. And despite the fact that Jonek's Coalescence comes out earlier, with the power of the Vancouver tanks, they pressure forwards, take space, and even get a flux off towards the end of this fight to be able to make the Vancouver Titans take the point first. It's phenomenal pressure. Look how deep they've driven across the field, taking space early on, and then setting everybody up, mitigating the sound barrier for a big flux towards the end coming out from Janu. Just incredible composed play from the Vancouver Titans. That's the kind of thing that got them the map win early on. That's the reason that they're the #1 seed and potential favorites for this tournament.
I feel like we're seeing champion caliber play on both sides of the stage today, but Sully, Bren, walk me through Lijiang Tower. There was a lot of teamwork, but also some individual plays that were the decider here. What did you see?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, one name we have to mention, of course, has to be Haxel. Haxel played a phenomenal game on that Doomfist. At the very beginning on Lijiang Tower, there was a little bit of trading back and forth, but honestly, Vancouver Titans started to really run away with it, and a lot of it was on the back of the insane aggression we saw from Haxel. He was all up in the front line, giving his team a lot of space to actually win over those team fights, getting a lot of kind of positioning on those points.
Yeah, that's the deciding factor of this map one. It has to be the tank play, I think. New York Excelsior, we saw, honestly, it looked shaky. I was a little bit worried after this first map that we were going to see New York just crumble again like they usually do in playoffs, because Meko was having some very uncharacteristic kind of plays happening where he was kind of whiffing a few ultimates. He's not known for this. I bigged this guy up in the pre-show because consistency has always been his game, but today it was a little bit off. But it was where we went to the second map where we really started to see the game just take off a whole nother level, and where I felt a lot more comfortable in the way New York were playing.
Speaking of that second map, it was Kings Row, and if you're a Titans fan, you know this squad didn't drop a Kings Row all regular season, right? Stage 1, 2, 3, 4, perfect on this map. In the playoffs, it's starting to become an issue because New York, they held strong on their defense.
What a ridiculous game for Libero this was. This entire package of highlights you're about to witness was trying to be 50-50 with Haxel and Libero. We attempted to make it unbiased, but it was just not possible because Libero was just that good. And this was such an interesting game between the two Doomfists that we need to just really point out, because a lot of the times, sometimes they go for the counter punches, they try and counter one another. This time, Libero was making plays in the backline. He's not known to be a flashy player, not known to be explosive, but today he was carrying his team on his back.
I just want to reiterate what Monty said at the very tail end of that cast, which is just the change and the adaptation New York Excelsior made for the second map. In the first one, it was Vancouver bringing the aggression, and New York kind of had to walk backwards really in most of those engagements. Here, quite the opposite. They were the aggressor. They were actually deciding the pacing of those engagements, and that is really what gave them the upper hand, because in this current meta, that is what you have to do. You have to be aggressive and decisive.
You got to think how much this comes down to the map pool as well. They got the opportunity to pick a map that they're really comfortable with. They know how it plays. I think we're in for a very back and forth series as people take each other to the loser's pit.
I think people are going to look back on this series here as one that could have potentially been a grand finals, and it still could be our grand finals. Remember that. The loser of this could still go on a run all the way to the grand finals as well. So this is how crazy and how high of a level these teams are playing at right now. It's astounding.
Well, this desk thought it was going to be the Vancouver Titans as the stronger team coming in today. After 2 games, how are we feeling about this match? I'm expecting a map 7. Do you still think Vancouver will be the winners?
Here's the thing.
I mean, you didn't even make a decision.
I didn't make a prediction. I was split down the middle, and you might think, oh, it's a funny little bit by Brennan. I genuinely could not make a decision because I thought if I go Titans here, it's a bit disingenuous because I felt like New York could win it. This map is definitely going to be going the distance.
I'm ready for it to go the distance, and I know a lot of fans in New York City are hoping that it's NYXL coming out on top. Josh, it's crunch time right now. You bombed out of the playoffs in 2018, but this is a new year. How do they get to Philly?
Well, I pointed out in the pre-show that it's all about their captain, Sabiolbi. This guy has really revitalized New York. They are clutch in the playoffs. They're making adaptations. They're not crumbling. As much as it looks like that Lijiang was giving me fear, I'm not going to lie, but they came back on King's Row and they really look retooled. Look at that win rate when Saebyeobi's in the lineup compared to when he's outside of the lineup. This guy, even though he doesn't always put up the flashy plays, and he's certainly capable of it, is so integral to this team's success.
I just love that coming into this meta, we weren't really sure how much of Saebyeobi we will see because he is not necessarily known for playing that Reaper, but he's taken to it wonderfully. He's actually really, really doing the work on that hero.
Yeah, I think it's important to just add on to this as well and just say the impact that Saebyeobi has, you might not see him in a kill feed, but his impact goes beyond that. It's going to be in his calling. It's going to be in his presence on that stage as an individual.
So a final question here. We've got plenty more games to go, but in this Game 3, it's Vancouver's pick. Who are our players to watch in your eyes?
Oof, I think we're going to keep our eyes once again on those Doomfists. They have been the big playmakers, and of course the Sigmas. It's so hard to say that, honestly. Like, just watch out for everyone.
Watch them all, guys. You've got the best of the planet, the best Overwatch players on the planet going toe-to-toe 6v6, and we got another round coming your way after the break.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by Cheez-It Grooves. Deep flavor, deep crunch. It's a mind crunch.
Welcome back, everybody. It's a tie series right now between the NYXL and the Vancouver Titans. Couldn't ask for anything more.
It's delivering, that's for sure.
Or could you?
What could I ask for, Doa?
I don't know. If you were me, you might ask for something like the Bloodthirsty Support of the Week. That's right, it's time. And we got a great one. It's Moth. He may not look bloodthirsty, but you won't want to meet him in a dark alley in Rialto. Look at that, taking out Gator. He's going swimming, but he's not the swimming kind of Gator. He's a drowning kind of Gator. No, you're back for more. You should have left the ledge when you had a chance, because now you're all dead. It's a 4K booptacular from Moth, and that is why he is Doa's Bloodthirsty Support of the Week.
You know, Doa, you might like bloodthirsty supports. And that was a pretty good one. That was a pretty good one.
It was.
He came back around for 2 boops, just making the circuit.
He tasted it. He was like, that was good bloodthirsty support.
I mean, you like it when supports get killed. Personally, I like it when supports get bodied.
You had that back.
Ah, I messed it up.
I like it when supports get killed.
I like it when they get killed.
This is what happens when we don't plan.
Exactly. But speaking of supports getting killed, let's take a look at Slime getting his ult denied in that last match on King's Row. Because there was a really good play. The desk was talking about Libero there during our break. And, you know, this is one of the key plays they have. Because look at that. You see the Gravitic Flux coming in. Slime is going to go for that ultimate. ultimate, but guess who is there? waiting, lurking in the shadows.
You know, I don't like it when supports get killed, but that was kind of funny.
It was great.
I did enjoy that. And it was a huge moment, too. If we compare these two DPS Doomfist extraordinaires.
Very close, actually.
Yeah, very tight so far between these. And that makes sense. We saw Hawksall be so successful in that first map, and then in King's Row, it was pretty much all Libero.
Yeah, and we also have to circle back around. You know, after map number 1, we looked at the Sigma players when it came to Meko and Janu. And in that map, actually, we saw Janu get 0 gravitic Flux kills on King's Row.
Yeah.
That's not good. And, you know, to their credit, NYXL, when they're not being forced to play in those chokes, they know when that Sigma ultimate is up, and they're doing an excellent job of spreading out or saving their cooldowns. Remember that things like Fortify can drop you out of that ultimate. Wraithform can get you out of that ultimate. Fade can get you out of that ultimate.
Very true. There's a lot of heroes that can escape it these days. Now, we are going on to our assault map. It's going to be Temple of Anubis, selected by the Vancouver Titans.
No surprise. This is a map that we saw them do very well on in the playoffs so far. Has been one of their best maps throughout the year. Now, part of that was because sometimes they put Hawksall in his signature Genji this season. They're not going to do that here, but when it comes to playing around point A especially, playing around the verticality, Doomfist offers that same level of mobility as a Genji, and the Titans are just spectacular on offense on this map.
That's right. So, New York on the defense first. And we'll see if the more defensive play from New York can carry them through here. Libero on the Mei for now, which is a little bit interesting. We do see players swap back and forth. And Libero has been playing Mei for like 3 or 4 years at the pro level now.
And to me, Doa, this says that they're not really playing for point A. They're playing for point B. You want to charge up that Blizzard and have a mechanic to stop any snowballing that's going to happen, because taking point B with a Blizzard is really difficult.
Could definitely be the case, yeah.
Now, there's no high ground to quickly jump to. The Mei wall's much more effective in those narrow choke points. So I think right now, if you're an NYXL fan, if they lose this point pretty quickly, it may not be the end of the world.
Right, but they need to lose it while Libero gets a lot of charge to his Blizzard too. If they lose it and he dies first or something, that is rough.
Mei wall.
Now, whoa, that works out. Somitsu just carved off, sent back to spawn. Now Libero getting a lot of piercing, freezing done, slowing down the members of the Titans. TZ really low. There goes Hawksall as well. In just a moment, yep, Sabielby finishes him off. He was low health, couldn't make it out. And Sabielby manages to come back in time to pick up a couple of kills at the end of the fight even.
Yeah, not sure about that attack from the Titans, because if you're playing against the Mei, you don't necessarily want to go through that choke point. Very easy to divide the enemy team as they're walking through. Remember, your tanks in the meta right now, if you're playing that Orisa and Sigma, low mobility. You know, they're not going to be able to, like a Diva or Winston, get over that wall.
This is kind of Mei's playground, right? If you have a bunch of these.
A Mei ground, if you will.
It's a Mei ground, exactly. A bunch of chokes. We can just split up the team, and they're going to do it again. Oh, Meko! Meko gets the pick on the slime as Vancouver tries to get through the door, and, well, that's the push right there. Now you got to wait for your Lucio to come back.
Yeah, they're going to try and take out Somitsu. Somitsu was on a flank right there, but his Wraithform's going to dodge.
Oh, the rocket dodge, but not the Hyper Spears.
Oh, you can't do that if you're Somitsu.
No.
You just staggered yourself. He was trying around on the flank, and the Wraithform isn't long enough to get back to your team. That's like that's a big unforced error there from the Vancouver Titans. That's going to cost them, 15, 20 seconds on the clock.
I guess maybe they thought they could cause a bit of a distraction to allow time for Slime to get back while the team was waiting, but it just kind of created a longer wait for them now.
Yeah, now this defense that we were talking about, looking good for the NYXL.
Well, they get the Coalescence through, but Twilight already down. Vancouver Titans losing out on a big one on the defense. Twilight did not get a lot of his ultimate done, but now they're going to charge right back in, and New York getting the kills. Meko finishes off Somitsu, and the Titans not able to get anything done. Twilight dying really early in that fight.
And the value, Doa, they just had to use Coalescence. They're coming up on 5 ults right now. This is looking like a disaster for the Titans. Sabielby here, hiding behind Omnic corpses, and then taking out Twilight as that Coalescence starts. So brutal, they can't play through that choke point against a Mei wall and an enemy Coalescence.
Yeah, it takes away the even fight that. Oh boy. There's a Flux, and there's the Death Blossom, spiraling from the heavens to send the Titans back in the cleanest team fight I have seen in a long time. And now only a minute remains for the Titans on their attack.
And again, the value from the XL. They saved Sound Barrier and Blizzard. If they're forced back to the point and the Vancouver Titans have to touch because it's an overtime, these are exactly the ultimates you want. So the economy absolutely fantastic now for the Excelsior. Lots of ults for the Titans, though. They got tons to work with.
Oh, they're going to use the Blizzard. There's the Ice Blocks, make sure it doesn't get denied. Mecca with the kill on the Janu already, and so many freezes coming through. The sound barrier for Slime accomplishes nothing. Oh no, and they use the supercharger.
Why would you drop that? Okay, maybe they can make it work. There's gonna be a stall here. Yes, they can. Great punch from Huxall.
Huxall, the DPS, trying to turn this one around. Somansu gets the kill to Sabielby as well. There was no way I thought the Titans were gonna be able to finish that fight with a win, but that is called a DPS hard carry. That is exactly what that was.
Huxall and Somansu turned that around because it looked like it could have been a disaster. And with only about 15 seconds remaining, the Vancouver Titans will get a new lease on life and the chance to take B. But they might be able to snowball it. Janu is going to have that flux. Let's take a look at this. Huxall with the 3K, because this was looking terrible. But Mono, he's going to fall, gets uppercutted onto the high ground, and then they're able to coordinate onto the Mei with a quick kill. Meteor strike over to take out Sabielby. Huxall comes in with the clutch play.
You know, you got to just look at New York and say they got a little bit over-eager there. They started letting members of their team kind of fly around and split up, and the Vancouver Titans DPS players definitely taking advantage of that. Now the fight beginning on point B here. Somansu does have the Death Blossom ready to go, find himself in a hallway with a bunch of members of Excelsior. Oh, Meko does get the kill onto Huxall. That is something. Tearing it up for New York. Somansu backs away, but they are ready for him. Oh, but he's ready for them. One more kill as a parting gift before he goes back to join his team. But New York, crucially, gets that first hold on B.
Janu, I don't think he hit anybody with that flux again. So far in this match, he has 0 final blows, 0 flux kills, and 0 accretion kills. So, you know, we saw that Sigma go very heavily in the Titans' favor on map 1, but Janu has not showed up ever since then.
All right.
He got stunned.
Oh,
no, not yet.
There we go. And
everybody just fades out.
But yeah, you just get out of it. That's the thing with this composition. Sigma's so good, but it's also really easy for enemies to get out of your ultimate front. Somansu down already. Sabielby comes in with a very effective Death Blossom. That is 2. Going for another one onto Janu, and he will take that. He's not done yet. Fortify comes in from TZ, but he's not going to survive. 4, 5. Making 5 kills for Sabielby, and it's only going to be Slime escaping with his life.
Janu's got to step up, man. It's 7 flux kills right now for Meko, 0 still for Janu. And credit to the XL because they're just scattering. They know exactly when Janu has that ultimate, and they're not giving him many opportunities, but they've got to coordinate better and make sure that the XL commit to the defense before they try and pop the Sigma ult.
Yep. Titans coming around. Let's see what they can do. All right, Supercharger Libero from the back. Nice rocket punch to finish off Slime. Beautiful play there. Denies the ability to use that ultimate. No shields, and NYXL again. The defense from Excelsior has just looked unbeatable so far in these last 2 maps.
Yeah, they've looked good. Lots used, though. That last one, not too much, actually. Coming in with the Supercharger.
Pretty good. They've
Meteor
still got
strike.
the sound barrier.
Yeah, Vancouver Titans, though, this might be the last push that they get. Fortunately for them, economy push has looked pretty good. They're going to be coming back with both of their support ults online. But XL might be able to get that Coalescence up before the Titans actually approach the point. That is huge! How did XL die to the Lucio?
I don't know, man. He died with his ultimate up. Somehow he got back there. Now New York getting aggressive to try to capitalize on that. That is the opposite of what you normally see when Huxall approaches a Lucio. That's crazy.
They gave Jonak the time to get the Coalescence and Meko to get the Flux now. So the advantage, the window. Oh, that's really not good. That's good, though.
TC gets a kill on the Libero. That's a big pick as the Vancouver Titans push forward to try to get something done, but they're going to need to do it in OT. Sound barrier now for New York Excelsior. Meko loaded up with the Flux. We'll see if he uses it.
Yes.
Moving down.
Gets 3.
Flux, yeah, does get 3. Is he getting kills off of it? No, not quite yet. Accretion comes through. Animo does get the kill on the Huxall, so there's one back for New York as the respawns come in. Vancouver Titans sticking on the point, but they have yet to get a single tick.
And they haven't taken out the tank yet, so still a lot of presence. Maybe only going to take out the big healer, Twilight.
Oh, look at that. Nobody from Titans back on the point now. How are they going to survive? It has to be an incredible flux from Janu. He gets mono, but that it will all be, well, that will be all he gets. As the Titans try to turn it around, even numbers on the point right now. The Titans trying to push New York off just long enough. If they could only get a single tick, it would be worth it.
They're not going to, Noah.
I don't think so. It's just less and less members of the Titans around to contest as respawns come in. That said, they managed to keep it fairly even. It's a competitive fight right now from the Titans, and they're getting close to a few more ultimates. If Slime gets a sound barrier, if Tizzy
They
lives,
can't kill TZ! They can't
got
kill
the
him!
sound barrier. It happened. The barrier came in. And now Soman Su following up on the damage from Haxal and Twilight, and they may actually get the job done.
They might. Sound barrier only on Anemo, so not a high value. Let's see if the stall can come in, but there's only that Lucio on the point right now. They're going to have to give up 2 ticks. But can they change over? Going to see Meko move over to the Reinhardt. Stall out now for the XL.
The impossible has happened. They put themselves in a position to actually take point B. Jonak down again. Haxal comes in, tries to get the go-ahead. Meteor Strike, who's he going to land on? Just lands on the middle of the arena, I guess, yeah. Get that rocket punch onto Libero. Now he's got to deal with a Roadhog. Soman Su picking up the kills that Haxal can't right now. And they're still so close, 95.8%, and it's going to grow from there. New York was so close to fully denying point B, but in the end, the Vancouver Titans do it in overtime, deep in overtime. Vancouver triumphs.
What an epic clutch from the Titans. That sound barrier came in at exactly the right time. The Coalescence came in at exactly the right time. If TZ fell, that would have been it. But they commit their support ults, help him stay alive, and they just get that player advantage on the point. That was so close. But the Titans managed to get it done.
TZ at 50 health. What more are we going to see, guys? Don't go anywhere. It's only going to get more exciting in just a moment.
Support your team with the official Overwatch League Coca-Cola bottles at CokeStore.com. Ships to all 50 U.S. states, Washington, D.C., and U.S. P.O. boxes.
Never die.
Oh, yeah! I am with you.
EMP activated.
Incoming!
You can't catch me!
Glorious!
Welcome to Assist of the Week, presented by State Farm. The Titans were all tied up against the Seoul Dynasty on Map 3, trying to hold out on Horizon Lunar Colony against the Titans' attack. The Dynasty pushed up the ramp and tried to cut off the Titans, but Haxal boosted Twilight over to join the support, and with Slime, Janu, and TZ pitching in, Soman Su opened up on Bastion and ripped through the entire Dynasty team.
Against all odds, the Vancouver Titans have gotten themselves 2 points on Temple of Anubis. We did not think it was going to happen, but clutch moves right at the end. TZ barely staying alive. Slime barely getting his sound barrier in time, and New York just kind of collapsing a little bit.
Yeah, it was. We know Vancouver Titans have been such a clutch team throughout the season. If you get their backs up against the wall, they can sometimes pull out amazing things. We saw it again right there. But I finished in overtime, which means that they don't have any time on the clock right now. If NYXL can finish with more than a minute in time bank, there is not going to be another attack round for the Titans. And frankly, with how dominant the XL were on that defense, and because the Titans, we generally think of them as a better offensive team than defensive team, might be problematic. So NYXL, they do have to finish the map, but it was 43 to 24 eliminations in favor of the XL, and they nearly full held them.
Yeah. Nearly full held them on A and B, honestly.
Yeah. So, tough stuff. right now, but Vancouver Titans still with a good opportunity to win this map with a strong defense.
Looks like they might try the trick where you teleport the Widowmaker up to a spot early to get a quick pick.
Why not? You might as well just go for it. You can always switch off the comp back into spawn.
True. Looks like they might swap now. Okay. Oh, all right. Libero, over on the Sombra, you know, you and I were actually talking about this. You were saying that you felt Sombra was underutilized. Well, she is. She will be underutilized as they're swapping again to the May Bastion, I guess.
I think she's underutilized against Bastion in particular. We saw some of that from the Shock yesterday, but they are going to go back to the Bastion compositions that have done very well for the NYXL throughout these playoffs, and why not?
Yeah.
So what they're going to do is they're going to rotate through this corridor. Haxel does not get the pick off in the choke. So now they're going to be able to set up here and just push them off the high ground by putting Sabielby in the turret mode.
That's a lot of damage coming through that Bastion. May wall up, try to trap the Titans against it. They're going to have to drop. You have to give up the high ground when the Bastion's up there like that.
Now you have full control over the field of view on this point now with your Bastion. They're going to have to hide, and the Hulk's going to pull them out, get them low.
Teasy down to like no health again. And that Bastion certainly making his presence felt. Now you just jump on the point, you make them come to you.
Yeah, Sigma on the high ground, providing the barrier for the Bastion. Mono putting pressure on the point with the Orisa barrier.
Yeah, he's going to burn through that Sigma barrier so fast. You can see it's only 1,500 health. That Bastion will eat that thing for lunch. I'm talking about light lunch. Coalescence comes out, and that M-Matrix behind the Bastion. That's not going to help out.
Oh, he's going to move.
There we go. All right, yep. A little bit better there. Should still get that damage. And they're getting the kills. There we go. Finally, New York picking it up, and I would say pretty well executed. Trying to find, there we go. It's like, where's that coming from? That slight annoyance. I hear the sound of sound bullets.
That's nice.
It's just
just slime.
It's just slime. Now he's going to be that guy who died and then was reincarnated as slime. Overwatch is an anime.
No, definitely not.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Have people seen you wear yours yesterday?
Yeah, that's because it's not. This is the symbol of it not being an anime.
I'm not convinced. We'll see about that. NYXL, quick point A, 5 minutes for point B to get the job done with a minute in the time bank. If they can do that, they will deny the Titans a chance to attack again here on Temple of Anubis. Big attack coming in. Barriers again.
Cleared ready, this is huge.
Yeah, they've given up the Bastion in favor of the Reaper now.
Makes sense for this point. A little more close quarters.
That's right. It's a blizzard from on high. Nobody need that one. Libero getting the freezes. Everyone kind of escaping it, but Teasy not so lucky. There goes the supercharger, and New York Excelsior dominating in this first attack here on point B. They want to get to the finals. They can taste it right now, and look at that. 4:20 on the clock for NYXL in a blazing, dare I say, attack round.
Very fast indeed. I agree, Noah. Blazingly fast.
That was a blazing 4:20 time bank for NYXL.
And we're going to go straight into time bank. Now remember, NYXL, they now have that 4 minutes and 20 seconds to take one tick on A. And with their Bastion comp, they can just do it. Sabielby maybe preemptively celebrating a bit right there. A lot of NYXL players standing up.
His chair, yeah.
So one thing to know, Doa, about these Bastion comps is the Titans have really not played against Bastion at all in the playoffs, because on their two matches that they've played so far, they've only had 11 team fights in total when they played against the Gladiators in the Dynasty against Bastion. 10 of those came against the Gladiators, and again, in those 10 team fights, they only won 3. So they have a 30% team fight win rate against that Bastion. So that was a real concern for me coming into this match for the Titans, is that they've had limited play time against Bastion, and even in those small number of team fights, they have not done well. So,
well, they continue to not do so well, as New York just rolled over them, and now the Titans find themselves in a situation where they cannot allow a single tick to be taken off point A, for if they do, the New York Excelsior will take the lead in this series.
YXL coming in now, just a little bit of scout here, I think, from the Sombra. They are going to see a May this time, so perhaps a different strategy resulting.
Yep, going back again for the swap. Gonna be Doomfist Reaper this time.
Yeah, a little bit of extra mobility just to make sure you can get around that enemy May wall. Are they going to go into the May choke? That could be a bit risky. You try and take the low ground here.
We'll see. A nice split.
Yeah, Halt's going to come in and then Wall's going to split them, so they're caught 3-3 on the other side of that door right now. They're going to take the other way. This is definitely how you should approach this against the Mei.
It's a lot safer. I mean, you can still get Mei walled like that, but at least you've got a corner to hide around and they have to come to you more.
Yep, you'll be able to shadow step right up to your teammates, and now the Titans are in a bit of trouble.
Yep,
because you can't stop them from getting on the point, and they're going to drop down, get that presence. Someone's going to hide in that corner.
Oh, that could be big. If somebody drops on in front of him,
they're going to
somebody like, say, the Orisa, Sominsu, he has to wraith away. He can get a lot of damage done, yeah.
Now you have to retake with the Mei. That's always rough, because you want them to walk into you for the Mei wall.
Ideally. Bro coming down, rocket punch loaded up, no fortify, gets stunned though, gets out.
Anti-heal?
Anti-heal, 34 HP, he's gotta wait it out. Now we can go get some more healing. There goes Shanu, New York with the first kill in this fight, and they are so close to taking point A and taking the map. Jonak finishes off Slime, and unless Sominsu can bring it back with this nano boost, oh, but it gets absorbed. The kinetic grasp from Meko making the difference. Sominsu threatening, but not enough. And that will be New York taking the lead in this series.
And remember, Doa, the Titans picked this map. This is historically a fantastic map for the Titans.
Yeah.
And they were dominated. I mean, there's not really a way to say it. Like, yeah, they forced time bank, but it was just barely. They barely got off of point A. Excel finished with 4 minutes and 20 seconds in that time bank, and then they easily take it on their first push. XL looking fantastic.
Sable's like, can I get him now? No, not yet. There's more maps to play before you make it to Philly. Don't go near it, guys. That fourth map coming up after this.
The Overwatch League is powered by Intel. Game, record, stream without compromise on Intel Core i7.
Omen, the official PC and display of the Overwatch League. And by Zip Chair Gaming, the official chair supplier of the Overwatch League.
Hello, hello.
Hello?
Hello, hello.
Mic check, mic check. Gang, gang.
Hello?
Oh my god, Ray, you're so
You guys are doing great.
Where?
Long time no see, guys. Long time no see, bro.
Right.
Gator, how does it feel to be back on the Overwatch League stage, buddy?
Feels nice, man, you know.
Yeah.
Let's go!
Who said that?
Me.
Who?
Me!
Oh!
Yeah.
Ouch! Ouchie.
Yo, you have gum?
I'm chilling.
Give me a gum. Give me a gum.
Pass it down. Pass the gum down.
Oh my god, oh my god! Oh my god! Rising uppercut! I haven't had a prank one forever.
Eh?
Yo, Nevix looking scrumptious today.
Striker,
Yeah?
you're so handsome.
I know.
He's got really good ankle muscles.
When you come here, dude, we just wear extra pants. I wear 2 sweatpants underneath.
Ah! Choi fighting! Choi!
Thank you guys. Thank you guys.
Choi fighting.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Who is that? I'm dead.
I always want to get a glimpse behind the scenes, and I mostly just watch those for gesture, I'll be honest. It's sad he's not in the league anymore at this point. Well, he's in the league. His team's not in the tournament.
Don't worry. Still on London Spitfire, but yep, no longer able, this season at least, to give us any more comms.
That's right. Put down your Reddit threads. You know what I mean. That's right.
Just put them down.
Just put them
all
down.
together, frankly.
Never pick them up again, actually. Yeah, just leave them there. Anyway, it's time to check in on a very important matchup in the series. It is the Sigma matchup between Meko and Janu. When last we were with them, Janu was struggling a little bit in gravitic flux kills, and guess what? He still is.
Yeah, and we talked about this throughout the last map, but on Lijiang Tower, it was Janu who was way ahead, but across 2 maps, one gravitic flux kill on King's Row and Temple of Anubis.
That is not good.
Janu, buddy, it's time to step up that Sigma play. It's so core right now. Looked like Meko had a pretty big advantage coming in tonight, and he struggled on the first map, but it's been all Meko on our last couple.
It's going to be tough, though, for New York to kind of keep this momentum rolling, because remember, this is a format where the loser picks the next map. So, I mean, I think at this point, if New York keeps winning, it just shows how incredibly dominant they actually are in this series. If you can keep beating your opponent on the map your opponent picks, that is crazy, especially when that opponent is Vancouver Titans.
And especially when it's Temple of Anubis, right?
Yeah.
We are going to be heading to Watchpoint Gibraltar for our escort map. Another chance here for the Titans to pick a map that will ostensibly favor them, but that was much more one-sided on Anubis than King's Row was when the NYXL picked it. So NYXL fearless, you'd have to think right now.
Titans, as we said, good on this map, 6-1 on the season so far. New York not too far behind at 4-2. Played it one last time.
Will the Titans actually debut this Bastion here for Summon Su? That'd be a bit interesting. We haven't really seen much of the Bastion from the Titans. They have played a little bit with Pharah and Mei, but every time they play Bastion, they win under 50% of their team fights. So it hasn't been successful.
We have seen some cool Bastion compositions, but it looks like we're not going to see one now. Summon back over to the Reaper.
Mei Reaper.
And there's Mei, okay.
So we're turning back into the stage 4 meta slowly, Doa. Weirdly,
yes.
in this match, a lot more Mei Reaper. And then to be aggressive defense here from the Excel. They force the ice block from Hoxall right away.
Wow, all right, now Janu in a lot of trouble. Trying to absorb a little bit, gets up to Animo. Down, yeah, that kinetic grasp for Janu saved his life big time. And now they can get aggressive. Summon down. But look at that, another split off. That is an Orisa in some trouble. Meko down to 0 health again, and New York's defense collapsing very early.
Yep, only 30 seconds taken off here, and now it's just all about stalling that payload. All XL members are down. Libero will be on the Doomfist, and XL will have to look. Now, we've seen on Gibraltar many teams try that more aggressive defense right out of the spawn, which up until this point in Overwatch's competitive history, we've seen very little of. But considering the number of barriers, it is easier to survive there in the open at times.
Yeah, very true.
Titans coming back,
especially
though.
Barriers that come back quickly, like these do.
Libero looking for that angle. Sabiel be with the early
good angle. Ooh, that halt really helped set him up. He didn't quite get the killing rocket, but it was nice. That's a good rocket, actually, on the Summon Su. He's back to his team, though. At the last moment, New York's still on the back foot right now.
They got to back off away from that coalescence. Now's going to be the time to re-engage, but Hoxall has a blizzard, so watch for that.
Everybody's ready. Still gets a rising uppercut, though. Comes down with the seismic slam before he backs away. Now Sabiel going for the flank with the Death Blossom. The blizzard is used by Vancouver, and it's enough to win a team fight. Oh, and Sabiel comes in with a very, very late Death Blossom. No kills from that. And I don't know if that's going to be a fight that New York can turn around. It's not, and that's going to be an ultimate that Sabielby definitely wishes he didn't use.
I mean, when you have the Blizzard on the side of the Titans as well as the Supercharger, makes it really tough to go ahead and try and take that point, especially when Vancouver was able to snowball an ult advantage because of their decisive first team fight win. XL not going to be switching anything up right now, but they'll have that Gravitic Flux. Johnny with the match right now, but the combo with the Meteor Strike, that's what's so dangerous.
Indeed, here we go. Sominsu really wants that ultimate. Gravitic Flux used indeed. Johnny gets one to Jonak. Support's falling on both sides. And now Sominsu just trying to finish off Mono on his own. He does do just that. Libero coming in to try to turn it around for New York, but no such luck as the Titans keep the payload moving, and it is not really stopped yet.
18-4 eliminations for the Titans right now. So dominating on the first 3 team fights on this map. XL, they can't get the combo together. You want to use that Flux, halt people together, and then hit them with the Meteor Strike. When they drop, doesn't end up happening. Meteor Strike's used late by Libero. XL gonna have a hard time here. They have a Coalescence, might get a sound barrier, but that's about it.
Sominsu was waiting up on the ship and had to drop down. And here we go. It's going to be a Meteor Strike used by Hoxall. Where's he going to land? Let's find out. Sound Barrier used by Animo to keep everybody safe, to try to at least. Hoxall, no kills there. Halt comes in. Sominsu still waiting for a chance to use that ultimate. Oh, he gets stunned right in the middle of it. Doesn't really get a lot of kills out of that. They've got the Supercharger. Now Meko in the back line. Kinetic Grasp, but he's not going to live. Yeah, that was a great punch to displace that Sigma. And the Titans continue to roll forward. And again, we see the DPS coming alive. Finally, Janu's showing up on the kill feed.
Yeah, lack of coordination so far from the XL. In spite of all those ults, Stoa, they got exactly...
Oh, the split spawn.
0 eliminations in that last engage. So NYXL still sitting at 4 kills on the entire map so far. And the Titans not be going down easily today.
I don't think so. I don't think anyone would expect this to be a one-sided match either way. Titans certainly not going to, or certainly looking rather, like they're not going to let New York get one win away from the grand finals. Sound Barrier as Slime pops in, they're coming in. And Vancouver Titans getting aggressive, they get a kill on the Meko. I don't think New York was ready for that level of aggression. Reaper ult, Sabielby trying to push everyone back again. And the halt nearly brings in Hoxall a couple kills. He gets one anyway on Amano. Enough damage was done. Doomfist versus Doomfist. Libero takes the second punch. That's enough, and nobody there to even stop them. That is a crazy push. 337 in the time bank for Vancouver.
And guess what, Doa? Still no limbs at all on point C. 28-4, we end in favor of the Titans. So crushing attack round for the Titans. They did not lose a team fight in the whole map.
Yep. Finally. You could almost say the Titans getting some room for their DPS players to work a little bit more, and it seems like the verticality that this map offers is really doing them a lot of good.
It's also, I think, the stunning lack of coordination we saw on the XL side. When they had a chance to stop the snowball and gain some ground, they just never really used their ultimates in a cohesive way in order to gain that advantage. And then they got a bit unlucky with things like the split spawn onto C that didn't allow them to really defend until the very end of the map.
Well, kind of reminds you a little bit of what happened back on Lijiang Tower, where New York would sometimes find themselves in a little advantage situations, but just weren't pushing it through to a team fight win. Now, of course, that was very different on maps 2 and 3, but that problem seems to kind of be rearing its ugly head again here in Gibraltar.
Yeah, we'll see how fast NYXL is going to be able to move on their attack round. It will be very difficult to match that time, but strange things can happen on some of these escort maps.
Really?
In Time Bank especially.
Yeah.
We've seen some really big pushes, obviously, in that overtime. And
saw one yesterday.
Yeah, crazy one yesterday.
Yeah. You never know. I mean, you never know because it's Overwatch, but you also you double never know because it's the playoffs. And I'm not saying it's like a double negative where you do actually know. I'm just saying you don't know twice as much.
You're twice as ignorant as you think you are.
That's right.
Which is probably generally true in life.
Well, you say that all the time to various people. Never me, but...
On Twitter, especially.
Oh, yeah. Usually the main place, main arena. Hoxall, early ice block, trying to stop New York from pushing here, but he's a little bit vulnerable. Gets to stand behind their reset. Now he's got his wall up again. Nice halt to bring people in. And he's really just getting a lot of slows in there, getting really annoying with the damage and trying to build up that Blizzard. No kills just yet, though. Slime actually the one who falls first. And so, despite the push from the Titans, New York not phased, backing off and finding the people that were vulnerable.
Bit surprised that we have Haksal here on the A defense on the main.
Everybody getting melee kills there for some reason.
Just a beat down.
It's punch out now, I guess.
Just a beat down there.
Wait, the first rule about Fight Club is you weren't supposed to talk about.
Oh, I messed it up again.
We're so bad at Fight Club. And it happens. New York. That coordination that they lacked in that last round, certainly here now. We're here for that fight anyway.
Haksal now switching over to the Doomfist, so they're not going to go and try and build up that Blizzard.
Yeah, Summon 2 down. It's a great start for New York. Getting that early pick on the DPS. Jonak goes back, Coalescence does a ton of damage to the Vancouver Titans. He's going to pick up a couple himself and help Sabielby finish off the rest. Even Animo getting in there as well, and that's an easy point A take. And those weird things are kind of beginning to happen, I think.
They've got a long way to go, Doa. Remember, the Titans really didn't lose a team fight. But NYXL,
they really haven't either, though.
Split spawn, gotta help them out, get a little more distance on the payload while they wait for the respawn from Slime. And taking stock of things right now, big ult advantage for the NYXL. Vancouver Titans probably a little bit further behind with some of the hero swaps, especially for Haksal.
Libero playing it safe. Not going to run in there with the shields, can't blame him. It's going to be the supercharger used by Mono. Try to deny the Titans from coming in and stopping the payload.
Also denies them from peeking and trying to poke their way into some ults.
That as well. Oh, Libero. Oh, gets denied. Gravitic Flux pops right out of it, though, with his Meteor Strike. Comes right in, and that's TZ down. Loaded it up, and now it's a problem. Janu trying to make the best with the sound barrier. They've all got the shield. Excelsior with the loss of Animo might need to back up. Sabielby, though, no kills, but he does split up. Vancouver a little bit. Janu down. Libero gets one on the tertiary of that fight. And that was just a great job by New York to actually split up the Titans and pick up some kills. But here comes Sabielby, and the Titans bring it right back with a couple of kills of their own. They just couldn't win the fight decisively enough. And the Titans finally get a full stop.
Less than a meter left, but the Titans with the spawn advantage get more of their members on the card. I was afraid that they might give up that point for free, but they got back in the nick of time.
It was very close.
To stop the payload, especially when the Titans did have a player advantage.
Yeah.
XL threw everything they had at that. That's a big ult economy reset for both teams.
Well, that's where the Titans really get dangerous. Is there's so much a nice rock on XL. There's so much individual skirmishing power on this team that if you split them up, you're fighting a lot of 1v1s that are really difficult to win, honestly.
Yeah, now XL gonna try for a slow push here. They're gonna move everyone onto the high ground. Haksal gonna try and get a pick in the choke point. You get it.
He definitely got it. Animo did not see that fist coming. And now the Titans denying the push from New York. See if they can get out. We'll see if they get any more exit kills.
Yeah, Lucio will be able to rejoin the rest of the NYXL on that high ground pretty easily. So they're just going to maintain their position. Ooh, that's a good haul to knock the low mobility tanks onto the low ground.
Johnny goes down. Gravitic Flux used. Mono down already. Trying to do that just to secure the kills on the tanks. And looks like that'll work out just fine.
That was a great flux from Janu. Right read on the situation to follow up on the halt. You've got them divided. There's no easy way for them to regroup. And if they do, they go on the low ground. So if you go ahead and use that flux, you're going to catch at least 2, maybe more.
Right. These rocks from Janu on the low ground, or from Meko rather on the low ground, have been pretty funny. Keeps hitting people on top of the ship.
Yeah, accurate, but not resulting in any eliminations.
He's been playing his Sea of Thieves lately, hasn't he? He's got that cannon angle down. Haksal loading up another Doomfist punch here. We'll see if the Rocket Fist does quite that. No, Libero. He gets it instead. Somansu comes back with one. Here come the sound barriers. On board with Meko now as he tries to find a good place to use that ultimate. Looks like he found it. Or did he? Oh, everyone gets out. But here comes a Meteor Strike. Libero drops down.
Oh, he interrupted the Death Blossom.
That was not bad at all. Yeah, Libero with another one onto Somansu, doing just what you said. Rocket punch into Haksal, and suddenly the Doomfist from New York takes matters into his own hands.
That's really just a good illustration of Libero's style. You'll notice that he's playing defensively. He's peeling off the back line for the Death Blossom, and then he's waiting for Haksal to come in and counter-punching, and it's working out super well in that fight, at least for the NYXL. That said, Doa, they're already a minute behind on that time bank, and they are nowhere close to completing point C. So XL, they are going to have a very impressive run to Gibraltar if they want to give themselves a fighting chance.
That's right. It's hard to run to Gibraltar. A lot of it's surrounded by water, but you can run from
It's a
one
peninsula.
angle.
Yeah, just one angle.
Run from an angle. That's where they came from, I'd assume. Coalescence comes in from Twilight. New York advancing, though, and they've got the supercharger, but they don't have Libero. There's Janu with the Flux. Damage coming in, that's enough to take out Meko with a little bit of help, and Titans get another full hold here, or another full stop, I should say, for the payload here on point C, and New York down to just about a minute 50, down to at least a minute 30 before the next fight happens.
Yeah, minor commitment from the XL.
Yeah.
Fortunately for them, they're going to be a little bit faster here.
That's rough.
On some of their support ultimates. So, Vancouver Titans, they can hold this push. They might be good to hold them off point C entirely. It's going to be the hard one where they're pretty far behind when it comes to that economy.
That's right. New York needs to make something happen. They need to make it happen right now, and the punch from Haksal goes right through the rocket, seems like. Loading it up onto Meko. Good amount of damage on him, but it's Teasy that falls first. Now Haksal has to go to the back lines to defend his tanks. One already down. Animo comes in for a bloodthirsty support kill at the end of Vancouver Titans back in spawn. You mentioned it, Monty. This was a fight to worry about if you're the Vancouver Titans, and you can see why.
Yeah, now the spawn room camps are going to come in. Now, fortunately, Twilight was able to stall the payload for the majority of that fight, but they still have to walk through these choke points. They're playing into a gravitic flux, but they have support ults. Maybe they can do something.
Got double support ultimates for the Titans. They've got the Coalescence out first. There's the sound barrier as well. Mono a little bit low. If they can finish him off, that would be huge to push this attack back, and it looks like they might be able to do just that. No, Haksal down, but there goes Savior B as well. Summon Sue back to his team for the moment here, but again, without the Reaper, New York is going to have a hard time pushing, and they only have 30 seconds remaining. They need to make something happen now. Jonex Coalescence coming in. A little bit of damage there. Oh, the gravitic flux from Janu. Good damage on the Meko. And that might be it for New York's attack, and that might be it for this map. Vancouver Titans on the verge of tying this up. Maybe one more desperate push coming in from New York, but they have only 10 seconds.
I mean, Sabiobi is hiding around the corner right now, but I'm not sure he's going to be able to get back to that payload.
I don't know if he can. He's going to try. 5 seconds remaining.
He's going to touch barely.
Yeah, he's going to touch, but he's going to die immediately. So at the best, it's going to be a 5v6. Another Doomfist coming around the corner. Echo a little bit low as well. Over time, ticking away, Libero down, and the Titans have really looked like they're going to put themselves in a position to tie this series up. And they are going to do exactly that. New York can't get there. Tie series 2-2.
Nicely done from the Titans. But the issue for Vancouver is still that because they lost 2 maps in a row, they're going to be playing catch-up while the NYXL selects maps. So as long as the XL can win their maps for the rest of the series, they have that edge.
That's a very good point.
Yeah, we're going to see, though, because XL looked very bad on Control, and it's going to be Control for our 5th map. So XL, with that opportunity to come back and continue to have the map pick advantage.
Can they redeem themselves on the Control map type? We'll find out when we come back after this.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by Pringles Wavy. They're not Pringles.
Welcome back, Overwatch fans. We are tied up 2-2 between New York Excelsior and Vancouver Titans. This is what I wanted. A battle of, you can't really say Titans in that situation, can you? A battle of really good teams versus themselves.
Each other, perhaps.
It's each other. I'm done.
It's not Dallas versus Mule, okay?
That does happen sometimes, I've heard, yeah. Well, let's reflect on the accomplishments of these teams and ignore the casters for a moment. Pacific Division title, 2 Atlantic Division titles for the New York Excelsior as they were in the league 1 year early. Stage finals appearances abound for both of these teams as well, and a couple stage titles between the two. Lots of map differential as well.
Yeah, this is very impressive, obviously, from both of these sides. But critically, when we look at a lot of the NYXL's accomplishments, you'll notice that they were last year. All 4 of their stage finals appearances were last year. They didn't make it into a stage final this year. But you know what? Stage finals, they don't really matter. What matters is if the NYXL can make it into the grand finals this year, which is a much better accomplishment.
That is true. They've completed the, if they can do that, they've completed the true longest of long-term sandbags that we've seen yet from the New York Excelsior. Well, it was a Gibraltar map that went the way of the Vancouver Titans, and now it's Busan, the selection of NYXL as we move to our second control map in this first of 4 series. The winner goes to the Overwatch League 2019 Grand Finals in Philly. Oh man, it's gonna be great.
Yeah, and in spite of that loss, because the NYXL were able to take back-to-back maps and win one on the Titans map selection, they've sort of taken the momentum of this series in that for the rest of the series, they can just win on maps that they pick, and they will win the series. So it is very important that the Titans did lose one of those. And you could see the advantage the higher seed gets in selecting that first map.
I mean, one of these teams is going to be 1 win away from going to the finals.
Indeed they will. So NYXL hoping that they can do better on control. Titans looking to use that dominating control performance they had on Lijiang.
They looked so good on Lijiang Tower. It was ridiculous. Haksal was like the primary assassin in that one, going in now, and that is why. First kill on this control map as well. And there goes Mono, and man, just destruction comes in. Haksal kills basically everybody. And yeah, I think Vancouver's gonna take the point first.
They will, and again, we saw the same thing. When the Vancouver Titans are just staring down the NYXL and fighting in those neutral battles, we saw the NYXL tank line get chunked out again early. It's exactly what happened on Lijiang Tower. They pressure the front line so much that they have to back off. And then the Vancouver Titans double down, charge in, and pick up the kill. So Haksal once again dealing a lot of early damage to Mono.
Look at that, unopposed. Finally gets knocked away though. Haksal has to take a little bit of a breather there. No, he doesn't. No, just had to wait for that rocket punch cooldown to come up. That's all he needed to do. Now he's got the meteor strike instantly. Another kill on the Libero comes in, and Haksal again wrecking NYXL. Not even close. These fights, I mean, look at New York Excelsior's ult economy right now. Like, they've barely been able to build anything.
Yeah, exactly. And Titans, they're just manhandling the front line.
They are.
Of the NYXL. We're not seeing Mono commit that fortify. Looks like he doesn't even know that the rocket punch is coming in, but it's coming in first from Haksal.
I mean, Haksal does like
every time.
He does like to switch up his positioning a lot too. He is very evasive as far as where he sets up on that Doomfist. It's hard to predict where he's going to come from sometimes. And that one, oh, he got one, okay. Meko gets hit with that, takes a lot of damage. Can they keep him alive? He uses that kinetic grasp to get a little bit of shields.
That gets the
health
health back,
stay up.
so barely able to stay alive.
That was close,
NYXL with their first real shot of taking the point right now. They've got the sound barrier. Slime a little bit behind. They're going to go in before Slime gets his.
Yep, that's right. Going to try to do that. Slime's going to have his in just a moment, though. So if Titans can weather the storm, they're going to come back even stronger in their fight. They're already at 70%. Finally, Libero gets a big one on Natizi. And Slime deciding, does he want to use it? He is going to use it. They're going to fight this 5v6. They're going to try to delay and at least put themselves one fight away. Yeah, Libero gets 2. And New York winning the fight. And they do flip it 84% for the Titans.
So much used on both sides, but plenty of time for the Titans to recover now.
Right.
XL with the big commitments in the last fights. Slime thinking, maybe there's a chance we can come back. If I cover my teammates with that sound barrier, maybe we'll get a good pick off and can fight the 5 versus 5. Not going to happen.
That's the hope anyway. We'll see what happens. Mono down on the low ground. Here's Saviel B coming in from behind. Can he build his ultimate up quickly? Fortify instantly from TZ to try to keep that Orisa safe. Meanwhile, Sableby still trying to build up that ultimate. Take a little while, and it's going to take maybe a bit too long. The wall came up, and Sableby spinning by himself like a top forgotten by a child at a playground.
And can they get back to 90% right now? XL team killed, that's what the gong means. And do they have the mobility to attack the point fast enough? Mono wants to use his supercharger, but he may not even get there. Fortify used just to walk up. They barely get in.
Yeah, they get that overtime, but they need to get on the point. Jonak down, so goes Mono. Hoxall again with 2. And Hoxall's stats have got to be out of control after this round, man. It is crazy. Go take a look at that for me, because this round's over. The Vancouver Titans with another dominant round on control.
So Hoxall, speaking of stats, 21 limbs, 10 final blows for Hoxall, only 1 death. So you talk about dominant. Not only that, though, but in this meta, we see a lot of Sigma players really leading their team in terms of damage. This time, 27% provided by Hoxall. So he's been crazy on control, continues to be crazy on control.
Yeah, he's at his best when he can just go in and brawl, you know? Go in and play Fight Club, right? But not tell people he's playing Fight Club. That's the important thing.
Yeah, he doesn't say it. We just ruin it for him.
Yeah, sorry, man. He's in, I don't know, Punch Club. It's very different. It's not trademarked that I know of. Here we go, round number 2 on the Shrine. We'll see if New York can bring it back. Hoxall already trying to take that side location, looking for the flanks. They see him. He destroys an ancient wooden window. That's kind of sad.
Doofus doesn't care about your historical artifacts.
He apparently doesn't. Even though his fist was going to be at a museum, but that's why he took it back, I guess. Titans, nice rocket punch. It's a few people on Excelsior. Hoxall still waiting, doesn't connect with that seismic slam. Another one on a Mono, though. As far as rocket punches go, Twilight with a very fast coalescence. Jonak does have his as well, though. And so New York's still in this one. Libero gets aggressive in the back line, but it's Hoxall that got the kill on Libero. Libero did not connect with his abilities like he needed to. And now it's Hoxall's playground. He's gonna go crazy, and there's no one to stop him.
Well, Hoxall, he didn't get the first pick that time, but the patience of the Titans pays off. Libero maybe goes a bit too aggressive and gets picked off first in that engagement, in spite of the fact that that time, at least, the Excelsior tanks managed to survive the initial onslaught from Vancouver.
Yeah. Wow. When I saw Libero go in, I was like, oh, buddy, you really needed to hit someone with that. Titans at 25% and counting now.
And for a map selection from the XL, this has looked quite uncompetitive.
Well, control maps have just been so one-sided for Titans. I mean, we're only in our second one, but 3 rounds so far. Mono down already. Someone's who? Easy kill there. The rock gets picked up, does end up connecting with Hoxall. Jonak picks up a kill there. And now that Sableby ultimate again. Oh man, I gotta say, Sableby's Death Blossoms have not been stellar today.
No, especially on control. Sometimes he's had to use them just because it's been desperation time. Maybe Sableby thought he might be able to pick up a couple of kills there and bring it back, but if you're using it when they are at about 40, under 50%, let's say, you probably should not do that.
Well, he's also using him in a lot of situations too, where he's already lost a few people on his team, and you combine that, with your opponent's control percentage. It's rough. It's a big gravitic flux. Sound barrier there to prevent a lot of the damage, though.
Gonna counteract with the Meteor Strike, try and push the Titans back.
That's the plan. Animo's sound barrier has run out now, and Slime still has his. That's the big win, because now New York does not have that Lucy ultimate for the fight, and they are vulnerable. Sableby already down. Janu rocks him like a hurricane with the accretion. Jonak down as well, and now Hoxall looking for another one. Doomfist v Doomfist. It has been nearly Hoxall all day long. And the Titans win another fight, and they are on the verge of a quick 2-0. I don't even know if New York can get back.
I don't think they can.
Sableby, he can try. He got stunned, and they can't reach it. The Titans crush New York on yet another control map.
37-8. Elims for the Titans. We're going to head into another break now. Time for the NYXL to recalibrate. They'll have a pick next of their map, but the Titans have retaken control of this series.
8 kills in 2 rounds on control. That is rough. New York, again, with a lot to think about. A good chance to tie it up. I wouldn't be surprised. We'll see if they can do just that when we come back from our break.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by T-Mobile, now connecting 99% of Overwatch League fans. Catch your league on America's network, T-Mobile.
There's a great chance this one is going the distance. After the NYXL took a 2-1 lead, it was the Titans storming back with 2 straight wins to push this one to match point. It's 3-2 in favor of Vancouver at the break. Welcome back into the Blizzard Arena, everybody. It's Puckhead. I'm alongside Bren in Sideshow once again. And this one, we mentioned it at the earlier halftime, it's living up to the hype. Great games going back and forth. Just when I thought NYXL was going to run away with it, it's all Titans right now. What's happening?
Yeah, they're running it back. This is a match that's Grand Finals worthy. And we may even see this match as a rematch in the Grand Finals. I remember the team that loses this series goes into the lower bracket and has the potential to make a run for it as well. But so much on the line now between both of these teams. It's really living up to the hype.
It's been a really good one, and New York Excelsior has to feel great with the way they played Anubis. Blistering fast attack. Let's take a look at how the NYXL took the lead in this series going into Game 3. Remember, this is going to be their opponent's pick, and NYXL looking very strong.
Yeah, I mean, map 3, NYXL were on Anubis, absolutely dominated. Their defense was phenomenal. Vancouver Titans did not really know how to break it whatsoever, but through I don't even know what kind of power. Haxel was able to clutch, and then it gets into overtime on point B.
Clutch
and
again.
The Titans are so good in these clutch overtime scenarios. But at the end of the day, the New York Excelsior are just able to blitz through their offense, utilizing a really cool Bastion strat, and then they've just got so much time on the point, it's inevitable.
Yep. They come out with this Bastion strat, and then on the second round, you can see, I will say as well, it was Janu, a non-existent game from him, actually, on that map in particular. He didn't turn up whatsoever. There was no real setups like you were seeing from the New York Excelsior. That was the real turning point there. But great strategies coming out from New York. Pulling out the Bastion on the next run, they pull out a completely different composition, just switching around all over the place to really keep the Vancouver Titans on their toes.
That's right, trying to throw off the Titans with what they're gonna run. But when you looked at the Titans, they've just kind of had one look, and it's a very strong look when you have Haxel playing the way he did on Gibraltar. Fellas, what did he do to NYXL? Because I feel like his performance in this game may be the match-changing moment.
This guy's absolutely ridiculous. But the Vancouver Titans are so comfortable on Gibraltar. It's a map that they know. It's a map that they were absolutely dominant on the offense of, and Haxel is there all the time. Libero's had his moments for sure where he's been able to have really huge impact in this series, but as this starts to stretch longer and longer, and the more we see these Reaper Doomfist compositions, the more the Vancouver Titans seem to be running away with it.
Yes, and Sabiobi is not having the impact he necessarily wants to as well. And we see that a little bit later as well as we move into Busan. A lot of this, you're going to see these fights setting up here. Libero is trying his hardest. He's having an amazing game. You can see him canceling ultimates at the right time. But there's only so much you can do when you're running into the Vancouver Titans, when Haxel and Tizzy are so on point with their coordination, using the halts to try and sync up a lot of this stuff. Soman Su is getting away with murder here because of all the space that's being created by Haxel in these matches.
And I do want to point out, again, the level that these two teams are playing at. It's phenomenal. They've had time now to get to grips with the meta that we're seeing in the postseason. And these are two teams playing at what could be their peaks of all time.
It was so good. So there you have Vancouver tying it up, and that took us to our second control in this series. And this one, again, it's all about the Doomfist forming when we're watching control. They get a lot of first picks, well, often going for these healers.
It's absolutely unbelievable. The Vancouver Titans have not lost a control map this entire postseason. And one of the reasons is Haxel is just phenomenal. The way he opens up these fights is unparalleled.
And New York relies so much on Libero creating space so that Sabiobi can get impact. When Haxel is as dominant as he is on these maps, when he's single-handedly clutching a lot of these team fights by getting opening picks like this, canceling a lot of this. Look at this, the Coalescence gone. He's done this so many times in these matches. Libero has to keep up and try and match him. And when Libero can't keep up with that pace, there's no space for Sabiobi to pop off. Sabiobi on these control maps is averaging 2 final blows.
Yeah.
Two.
They're not letting them close at all. What's going on there? Because, Josh, at the start of the day, we said SBB is going to be the key for NYXL.
I think the important thing to notice is that the Vancouver Titans are so good in these default takes. Control is all about having control of the map, literally in terms of the space that you occupy, forcing your enemy to push into you and abusing them. And the Vancouver Titans were clinical in how they utilized their ultimates, forcing the sound barrier out of NYXL, then pushing with their own, always going on the offensive, getting Haxel into great positions. In terms of their raw, just bread and butter plays, the Vancouver Titans are phenomenal. NYXL have to take it to interesting maps, have to throw in the Bastion to have a chance in this series.
Vancouver Titans, of course, an expansion team here in 2019, but the NYXL, they have been a top dog since we began the Overwatch League. But when it came to the playoffs, they just always seemed to fall short. Upset time and time again. Here's a look at their tough run. They fell to the Spitfire to kick off Stage 1, falling in that reverse sweep. Then they lost to the Valiant of all teams back in Stage 4, and then the Fusions knocked them out of the playoffs, crushing their dreams of going to the Grand Finals last year.
Yeah, and because of this, we've always had very low expectations moving forward this year, at least for New York Excelsior. We never expected much from them. Every analyst, I think, had them going out in the first round. They were going to go out in the upper bracket and then go out in the losers bracket. So far, they've been making a very dominant run and showcasing why this is a completely different squad at this point. Sabiobi comes back into the lineup. They're rejuvenated. They're renewed. They want to be going for the wins. They want to be at the finals.
Josh, I was the one guy who picked the NYXL to get past that first round, but I didn't have them crushing the winners bracket. Today, though, I'm rooting for the boys in New York to take us to a Game 7. Let's take a look at what we have left. It will be New York's pick after losing on Busan, so they're going to go hybrid. Where do you want to see them go?
I definitely want to see them go to Numbani. The two maps that they have left to pick are Eichenwald and Numbani. Now, the Vancouver Titans, like I said, never lost the control, so they've never had to pick a hybrid map. But these assets are from the stats that you're seeing before you are from the whole season. In the postseason, the Vancouver Titans are not on Numbani. They have not won on Numbani. Whereas the NYXL have won it twice. So this seems like an obvious choice, whereas when you look at Eichenwald, the Vancouver Titans are 2-0. So this just seems like an obvious choice to me. You would want to take them to Numbani, despite the fact that they had the longest map win streak ever on Numbani. In this meta, they seem vulnerable there.
It's ridiculous. December 2017, so everyone at home doesn't realize. That's how long they were undefeated on Numbani. Yet it seems like the best pick right now for New York to take them to it.
New York fans, I have great news. Josh, Brent, fantastic news for everybody. I think we're going to Game 7 because the producer just said in my ear, New York has picked Numbani, and that's coming up after the break.
Support your team with the official Overwatch League Coca-Cola bottles at CokeStore.com. Ships to all 50 U.S. states, Washington, D.C., and U.S. P.O. boxes.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Vancouver Titans have put themselves one map win away from a spot at the Overwatch League 2019 Grand Finals. New York, though, has picked Mbani. We saw the desk analysts say that this was a good choice for them. We'll see if it turns out that way or not. But one thing is for sure, New York has definitely looked better on the non-control maps, haven't they?
Yeah, absolutely. We look at Gibraltar, they kind of got rolled. They got clapped on the last 2 maps, but it kind of has been back and forth where Anubis was so dominated by the NYXL.
It's been really one-sided no matter who was winning, right?
Yeah. Maybe a little bit less on King's Row. It's probably been the closest map that we've had, but overall still, you know, NYXL looking pretty darn good right now. So this is going to be their selection, like Sideshow was talking about. Even though, if you think historically about Anubis for the Vancouver Titans, where they didn't lose, some of the members on the team literally didn't lose on this map for about 2 years. Yeah. Which is very impressive. So stretching back to their time in Contenders Korea. But in the playoffs, they're 0-1 on it. Yeah. And it is a bit of a different strategy right now. There are a lot of different compositions that are not the same type that we would have seen on Numbani in the past. Some teams are still playing the Pharah, though. That may be the closest approximation.
Well, that's the thing, is that it is a new meta, and that always changes things. You kind of have to throw out the historical stats for a second with that.
And also, we discussed this earlier, but the Titans in these playoffs have used very few of these Bastion comps, and every time they use a Bastion comp themselves, they have averaged under 50% teamfight win rate. So it hasn't been great for the Titans. Overall, they're going to be playing the Pharah Bastion here, and this might be in the favor of the XL. Libero going to do a little bit of scouting with the Sombra.
A little tele-scouting.
Teleport scouting right now, making sure that they know what's up. They're going to see the Farmer C. They're going to see the Bastion.
Yep.
And then they are going to switch to the Mei Bastion. So the extra Mei wall there, they'll come up through the staircase onto the choke point and try and provide extra cover with the help of the ice wall from the Mei.
Mei's been a good answer to the Bastion just because, yeah, it's basically just one more barrier, you know?
Nice rocket, though. Does damage to the rocket, does force an ice block early. Might delay them just a hair as they come up this ramp. Sominsu going to be ready. So here we go. Sabiel, we're going to pop over.
Now they're going to try. Yep, he's got the Bastion himself. Sominsu, though, kills Libero early. And Vancouver Titans in good shape to keep this defense going. And now Haksal with the flank. Good damage onto Jonak. He's down. The Matisse out of the fight for now. Jonak gets rezzed. Very quickly brought back. Sabiel takes a lot of rockets, so he can't sit there in turret form. So Titans get that first hold.
Yep, strong defense to start things off. Libero barely getting anything. He's going to eat a couple of rockets on the way in. Libero try and dodge a little bit here. You can see he's waiting for that clip to be empty. That was clever.
Yep. He knew exactly where Haksal wanted to keep it from going, and there's the Matrix already coming in. Maywall goes down, traps all the Titans. Mono down, though. Twilight gets frozen. Matrix not working out too well. So Sabiel, though, comes back in with a lot of kills on that Bastion. And Jonak's Amp Matrix certainly doing work there.
I do not think they thought that Jonak had an Amp Matrix yet, because the rush there, they used the Maywall to prevent the Pharah rockets from providing that extra damage, and the Amp Matrix provided the additional barrier penetration that they needed in order to overcome that. So smart play by the XL. They have been the Bastion masters of our Overwatch League postseason in 2019.
So far, so good. 4:30 on the clock for the NYXL as they get the payload moving. Good amount of time in the time bank. There's a Blizzard under the payload. Not going to be denied. Sabiel will be with the kill on the TZ early on. And yep, everybody just walks into that one. It's a Winter Wonderland.
Super clean. Invulnerability field goes up on top of the payload. They go ahead and use the Blizzard as well. Automo pops his wings, so Valkyrie comes out. But that is a team fight win, a team kill in favor of the XL.
Yeah. So you want the attacking team for sure.
Yeah, you've also still held on to the Gravitic Flux from Mecho's Sigma.
Libero on the Pharah now, interestingly enough. Making that switch after using the Blizzard.
Yeah, I mean, he sees that they've switched to Mei Reaper, so look at the range that they've got between the Pharah and the Bastion here.
Now, how do you really get close to this Bastion right now? Maybe with the Mei wall. Pop save will be up from behind the shield. Twilight down. Good start. There's Libero raining death from above with those rockets. And man, between the rockets and the Bastion, there's a lot of damage. Sominsu pops up to say hello, but yeah, you got to get out of there.
So he just ends up looking silly in the end.
Yeah, you're just kind of doing jazz hands in front of your impending doom.
that was a really impressive team fight win from the XL again. So what they did is you know, Vancouver Titans, they have to walk through all of this long-range damage in an open point, and they walk straight into the flux from Mecco because they have to contest the objective. So pretty easy, and man, Excel have been, outside of that first fight, super fast so far.
Well, these have been really good set plays, and if you lose to them, you're going to just give up the point.
Anubis
John popped the flux, that's right. Meanwhile, Immortality Field on top of NYXL. Anti-heal onto Mono.
I mean, they don't get anything because the invulnerability field is there again.
Yep, that's right. And they can't kill that in time.
Here's the barrage. Libero looking for an opportunity. He's going to drive down. Gonna come in with a concussive
Oh,
blast.
might be a good one. Oh, it is a good one. Libero coming from an angle the Titans were not quite expecting. Janu comes in with a kill into Sabielby, and now that Blizzard actually from Hawksall doing a bit of work. So, despite the great barrage from Libero, the Titans finally bring it back.
Yeah, they had to commit to Blizzard, though.
Animo with the 2K.
He's going crazy, but it's not enough, Janu.
That's fun.
Finishes him off during that Valkyrie. Now the swap's coming in from the XL.
He got himself staggered pretty badly there. But, you know, for 2 kills, I'll take it. I'll give that to him. That was bloodthirsty. Good job, man.
Style points were crazy.
Exactly.
Plus, they still have plenty of time, so wholesale comp swap now from the XL. We are going to be in the Doomfist Reaper mirror that has mostly been working in favor of the XL. Or in favor of the Titans, rather. Excuse me.
The style points intimidation factor conversion is pretty good. So, go for it, you know?
Flux in right now. Will it pick up any kills? Answer's no.
Not quite. TZ did have, TZ, I believe, did have his Fortify. That was Mono, actually. New York's still backing away anyway, though. And here comes Somansu, ultimate onto Libero. Took the high arc, gets one before Sabielby finishes him off. Oh, Hawksall stunned out of his rocket punch. He has to back away.
Okay, this is looking good for the XL now as they're trying to pursue, but Hawksall punishes Sabielby as he comes around the corner.
And Twilight had the coalescence up, but he couldn't keep the tank alive, so now it's really on Hawksall with this sound barrier to try to get a few more kills.
It's a 5 versus 4 for the XL,
he can't do it.
Slime didn't look like he got the sound barrier off there.
I mean, there was a little bit of shields onto Hawksall, but not enough to keep him safe. Meanwhile, New York Excelsior keeps pushing this payload. 2:30 on the clock to get it done. And they do it.
Flux is going to be so good as they have to get onto the payload, but it's not going to hit anybody.
No, it's not. Everyone gets out, but it does set up for a kill onto Hawksall, and everyone on Vancouver falling, no one there to contest. 2:15 is the time bank for New York. Really good time for their attack on Mbani.
And now we get into where the XL have been specializing in these playoffs. Defenses with a Bastion. Are they going to go for it? It's our opportunity to really hold back the Titans, tie this series up, and send us to that map 7.
They picked this map for a good reason, and it has been a good map so far for New York. Can Titans bring it back when we return?
The Overwatch League is powered by Intel. Game, record, stream without compromise on Intel Core i7. And by Omen, the official PC and display of the Overwatch League.
NYXL is not out yet, but it's not time to relax and unwind. Oh no, because Vancouver Titans have an attack round coming in New York's was good. 2:15 in the time bank for them, but now they have to defend against the Titans. And the Titans, remember, if they win this map, they will go to the grand finals. This is it. New York has to win 2 more. It's the first of 4 here. Can't really say best of 7 because we do have time maps once in a while.
Yeah, and the time maps obviously
Could be this map.
Yeah, it could be this map.
You never know.
Yeah, for sure. And looks like NYXL running a Reaper defense. Could be vulnerable if the Titans see this. They will scout with the Sombra from Haksal and then possibly switch to a Pharah.
Yeah, we'll see. It's a little bit of a view, but Titans playing so far, New York playing so far forward in this choke. He's going to have to wait. Yeah, there we go. All right. Checks it out, and he's going to make the swap over to the Doomfist.
Okay, so no real shenanigans here. They're happy with the advantage that the Doomfist has given them so far. And yes, they are going to take the open. This is definitely where you want to do this, where you can threat the high ground with the Doomfist without getting walled off half your team.
Harder to, yeah, exactly. Harder to use the May wall when the team comes in that angle. Both the Sigmas a little bit low. Savior will be down, though. Haksal finds the first pick. And New York trying to fight short-handed here to keep point A. Not going to be any reses. No mercies around anywhere.
Do have a fast first spot, though, on this defense.
Another one!
So they can play back just a little bit. Savior has revived. He'll be here soon.
Yep. Libero getting bounced around, hit with that seismic slam. Haksal gets out before he gets frozen. New York either way, scattered, unable to defend the point. 2 ticks taken by Vancouver already, and Haksal just waits. He's so patient. And whenever New York tries to push in, that's it. Jonak does have the coalescence, but can't really get anything done with it.
4 versus 4, and all the NYXL have to do is stay on this point because they're going to have the faster respawns.
That's right. They just got to hold on, but it's been 2 ticks taken already for the Titans. Libero uses that ice block to delay, and Somitsu cannot, or gets the kill before Libero gets that Blizzard. Oh, Jonak gets one into TZ though. And so New York not done with this defense just yet.
No,
In
they're
fact,
not.
It's looking good.
It is.
Wow, that was
very good. The Flux picks up the eliminations.
That was a close hold.
Crucially, XL had the later coalescence and the later sound barrier. They had that sticking power. Really excellent patience from the XL just to pull back. Remember, Numbani is unique in Overwatch in that on this hybrid map, the defenders have the spawn advantage on this first point.
Anytime you can take off the point on A and B is huge because C is so difficult to take. And look at that, Janu taken out by the Blizzard immediately after getting to the point. It's going to be another defense for New York, it looks like. Titans already in the retreat.
Yeah, they're not going to be able to pick up any more exit kills onto Somitsu, however. And look at Titans coming up on 5 ultimates. This should be their push to win right now.
Right. It's been a good hold for New York either way. They're setting themselves up for a point C defense.
Yeah, remember, NYXL took this point with 2.5 minutes on the clock, already 1.5 remaining for the Titans.
Yep, exactly. Here we go, Supercharger now as Janu tries to go in and kill it. Runs into some trouble. Gonna get some shots onto him from Sabielby. Animo down. Oh, Sabielby gets a kill to Janu anyway. The team's trading blows.
Haksal just going crazy in the middle, though.
At the end, the Doomfist gonna make the difference for the Titans. It looks like 3 kills for him, and the Titans will finally get the payload going.
Yeah, stall out now from the NYXL, but no one else gonna get onto that point. 3.5 minutes on the clock for the Titans as they begin to push this payload through B. They hold on to their Coalescence, though, and their Gravitic Flux. Not bad on the side of the Titans. XL going to make the change. No more May. Harder. And the streets are pretty wide here, so it's harder to use that May wall effectively.
True enough. And the Titans find an ult. Okay, that's 2. And the Gravitic Flux, good damage onto that one. They nearly take out Meko. He's really close to death, but no, he gets away. Seemed like a nice setup. Either way, the payload's still moving. New York has to regroup for a moment.
That's actually going to fuel a lot of support ult charge over to the XL.
That helped a lot. Yeah, TZ does get the kill on the mono, though. And now Haksal comes in onto Sabielby. No die. Unless your name is Sabielby, then you'll just die.
Instant reaction from the Titans.
Yep.
The accretion stun into the chain of the rocket punch means that no value from Sabielby, but XL, are they going to get a chance to defend here on this point? Looks like they're just going to hold back. Titans have pushed very far forward already.
Very quickly, too.
Yeah, XL gonna have to stay back. So nearly 4 minutes now in point C. Vancouver making up for lost time after getting held for a while on their first point. But now, a chance for the XL to take it back with some ultimate advantage.
That's right, Jonak pops that Coalescence early. Sound barrier, though, for the Titans here. Meteor Strike doesn't get a whole lot for Haksal. Jonak out of the ultimate now. Can the Titans keep pushing forward with this sound barrier? Maybe they can. They've got their own coalescence as well. Now they got a Doomfist in behind to worry about. Oxal, we get stunned. Can he kill anyone though? Not quite yet. And the Titans flank not working out. That said, New York loses a lot of health, and they lose too to Janu's Flux, and now the Titans continue to push forward. And where New York was looking so good on point A, the rest of it has been all Vancouver.
And just terrible support use from the NYXL. They used their sound barrier so early and got no value out of it. Quick disengage from the Titans. Summon Soup trying to really just close this out with the Death Blossom. Gets booped back.
That's Uli down already. Janu picks up one for the Titans. They need that. And there goes Meko as well. Summon Soup booped away as he uses his ultimate, but it doesn't matter because the damage has been done. And Twilight helping him get the finishing blows. Haxal gets dropped eventually. But everyone else on New York falls as well, and that is a better time bank. 2:39 for the Titans. They come back and exceed what New York was able to get done on their attack round.
Not a lot though, just 24 seconds. And that is gonna put things just about even here because the Excelsior have the smaller time bank. They will be on attack first.
And you can't imagine the pressure on New York Excelsior right now, you know, to prove everybody wrong that they are not a team that chokes in the playoffs. They are a team that can win an Overwatch League finals. And, you know, they certainly played like a team that could do that throughout the regular season. And so far in the playoffs too, but here they are, down to Vancouver Titans and on their map choice, behind in time bank as well, on a map that if this one goes the way of Vancouver, the match is over. New York goes down to the lower bracket, Vancouver gets in the finals. And New York would have another chance, obviously, in the lower bracket, but you don't want to go down there against Spark or the Shock right now.
Especially because there's such a small amount of time to prepare. Tomorrow is the Spark versus Shock match, and you will have 24 hours to figure out which of those opponents you are playing and then prepare for them on our losers bracket final on Sunday. So definitely do or die here for the NYXL. They're going to scout.
We know whoever ends up losing this one today is going to be watching tomorrow's match very, very closely.
All right, so different look this time on the side of the Titans. Last time they tried the Pharah and the Bastion. Now they're back to the Mei and the Reaper. So NYXL has a chance to do what the Titans did to them, which is just approach via the main street with the Doomfist and the Reaper and try and negate the effects of that Mei wall as much as they can.
Yep. That's the plan anyway. New York.
Back, and they're going to do it. So
okay.
They're looking like they want to approach via high ground. That is kind of risky. Not sure that's a good call.
Really risky against the Mei, honestly.
Okay, there we go. Just a fake. Putting some pressure on. Now they're going to come in on the low ground.
Oh, that's a great halt. Oh, man, they pull a lot of Titans off the high ground, and now they're having to fight them on their own level. Mono a little bit low, that's right. And Excelsior does have to back away a little bit. There's another halt thrown out. Haxal trying to land those right clicks, trying to get a little bit of freezing going on. Somansu down. Meko finds him with an accretion. The rock does work, and the Titans struggling a little bit in the 5v6. No ticks taken just yet. Sableby gets frozen, gets out with the Wraith form though, and now everybody tries to jump onto Meko, gets frozen, but there's Move. Haxal can't deliver the right click. He was in the air, he got thrown off his aim. And Vancouver still just trying to cling to life here on the point.
And they're doing a good job. We're going to see the Reaper rejoin them. Somansu is back, but the sound barrier there first. They got to get value out of this, the XL. They can't.
Yeah, that's right. Slime gets his sound barrier just in time. Libero coming down right on the supercharger. Mono taken out. And now Vancouver Titans turning this fight around in a big way. That said, but now the DPS from New York again. It's so back and forth.
Blizzard's
Meko
up, though.
gets Janu, and maybe, like you said, the Blizzard from Haxal will be enough to sustain. But it won't. He's going to die with the Blizzard unused, and New York will get the payload going, it seems like.
Yeah, just a player advantage right there, and I guess the call on the Titans was not to use the Blizzard because you're not going to be able to get back in time to win the fight. They may be grateful that they saved that because now they will be able to stop some of the payload progress a little bit easier. Blizzard, an ability that can clear out the cart, especially when you have to stay on it in overtime.
And we are seconds away from overtime for NYXL and what could end up being their final push in the upper bracket. We'll see if they can keep it going here. There's a Blizzard from Haxal. Now it's coming in handy. Gets a freeze on Meko. Looking for the headshots. Tizzy finds it for him. Sableby gets Tizzy though. And now Sableby gets another one. New York trying to keep pushing back. That's right. The extra damage from that ultimate from Orisa. Now Sableby from on high. From the top ropes onto the Titans in the back line. And the New York Excelsior keep pushing forward.
Coalescence there from Jonak to keep the Excelsior topped up. Only one elimination through the Blizzard. Will Hoxall change? He will. Over to the Doomfist now. But this might be a pretty good run. Look at Animo. He's going to have that sound barrier just a little bit faster.
Well, it's looking really threatening. And point B is a point that not a lot of the teams fail to take, even in situations like this. That could all change if Vancouver wins a fight. We'll see, though.
BLB has to use great form immediately.
Yeah, sound barrier now for NYXL. Slime still a few seconds off of his, and that could be big because here comes Sabielby. He's suffered with the Death Blossoms all day, but he got a big one there right before Slime got the sound barrier on the Vancouver side. That was clutch.
XL really using that timing window where they had the sound barrier and the Death Blossom combination. That's why Sabielby was able to get so many elims, because Slime just was 2% away from a sound barrier of his own. So the extra shields help Sabielby stay alive. And now they push into C.
That's right. You like Coalescence? Well, it's time to see Jonax. That's right, it has to use it to keep Libero alive. Twilight's just finishes right now, but they do have Slime sound barrier for this fight. New York has to play it a little bit safe. They're lacking that Lucio ult right now. Animo's still at about 30% with it. They managed to weather the storm, and now it's time to push forward. Sabielby getting close to that ultimate again, and Meko, oh, his Gravitic Flux really close now. Libero already got one onto Jono, but Libero down. Can they finish it off? There's the stun on Nemeko. The Rock connects first, or the Fist connects first. Sabielby again. Another Death Blossom kill onto Slime. And New York just trying to fight to sustain, but the respawns are better for the Vancouver Titans right now. It's going to be so hard to keep this one going if you're NYXL, but they might just do it.
Supercharger there. That's going to be huge as the DPS come back in.
That's a lot of damage. That's right. Janu has to back away. They have to give ground, and every bit of ground they give is devastating for the Titans when they think about what they need to do on their attack run.
Oh boys, it's going to be 6 points to the NYXL.
That would be crazy.
Down, but they have 2 support ults. That should be enough to push them over the top.
We'll see. Janu waiting for him to just use that Flux. Overtime has been deep. Can he just pull him off the payload? Oh, he can't quite do it. And it's Sabielby and Hoxall, or to the TZ and Hoxall going down. And I think New York, they've done it. They're going to get 6 points. Insanity on Nambani. Talk about a good map pick. They do it in overtime.
What an epic push from the NYXL to keep their winner bracket run potentially alive here. They had 24 fewer seconds, to only 2 minutes and 15, and they made it through all 6 points.
I don't think anyone's going to accuse New York of choking in this playoffs anytime soon, man. That was the opposite. That was beyond clutch.
You know, we haven't mentioned Jonak's name a lot in the playoffs, but his Moira positioning was fabulous in that last push. He had such great value on the flank from his Coalescence. His teammates were grouping up, so he was able to get a lot of that AoE healing done, and especially him and Animo having those 2 support ults were what they needed to just jam the payload through, allowed them to survive Janu's Gravitic Flux.
Right, well that's the thing. I mean, Moira, you know, isn't the biggest playmaking support. She's not as flashy as like a Zenyatta or an Ana, but if you have good positioning, you can put out insane amounts of healing and damage, and that's exactly what Jonak's been doing all day long. So, the Vancouver Titans, it's their turn to attack. 2 minutes and 39 seconds in the time bank. Jonak's like, I don't even need this. I just heal other people with my hands.
Well, that's quite the gauntlet that's been thrown down by the NYXL, and exactly what they needed. So now, Titans must push all the way through the map, and if that happens, each team will get a minute, and we'll see another attack round from both teams.
I mean, it's so unlikely, though. I mean, it would be insane for the Titans to do that.
And that's true. Yesterday, the Spark versus Rain, the Spark did actually push through again in overtime, an epic overtime push. Even more epic than that one, by the way, for the 6 points.
It was crazy. Nabani is the place to be for points these days, apparently.
So again, low ground approach. Same attack, same defense that we saw the last time from these 2 teams.
Yep. I think we're trying to be a little bit aggressive here. Their shields are running out. They got to go in soon. Oh, the Rocket Punch misses Sabielby, though. Ox a little bit of trouble there. Trying to go in, gets a seismic slam. Sabielby wraiths out, TZ down, and yeah, that's a problem for Vancouver. Yeah, as New York's defense is starting to look pretty solid.
Yeah, you just have no point presence. If you lose your Orisa, now you're trying to get back to the choke point and escape without getting staggered. Yep. But you do get staggered because there's a Mei wall inhibiting your retreat.
That's right. Vancouver building some ultimates there, but New York in the lead in a lot of those categories. That said, Both Moiras have their coalescence, so you're going to see those in the next fight most likely.
Supercharger might be the big difference here.
Could be.
Mono, because TZ died so early and Supercharger so insanely important.
Now, Libro's really got to build up that Blizzard too. That's going to be another big one for New York to keep holding here. Coalescence gets used by Twilight. Got to keep people alive here. Echo takes a lot of damage. Jonak uses his will. Savielby gets a kill into Sominsu anyway. Twilight throwing that damage orb into the hallway, trying to do what he can to try to just pick up a kill somewhere, right? But New York still holding. There goes Hawksall, both damage dealers taken down on the Vancouver side. And it's going to be another stuffed push by the New York Excelsior. 55 seconds remain.
And what this means is that even if the Titans are able to come back and push through on this next attack round, well, they're still gonna have to push through the rest of the map in overtime, where if they leave the card at all, they will lose. So, problem is also, look at the value. Excel has all of their ults, and they have Blizzard. Blizzard is the most key ult in overtime because it'll cover the entire point, and it'll just freeze you when you must contest on the objective.
That's right. Fans chanting, let's go New York, as Savielby goes in, and he follows their fights. That's 2K off the Death Blossom, and Libero has a Blizzard to spare. Might not even need it. 20 seconds, and Vancouver is getting sent packing on Nimbani. One last touch maybe from Slime coming in, but they're all jumping on Lucio now. No, he's not going to get there. 10 seconds remain.
Just the Reaper. It's just Sominsu. Can he get here in time? He's going to drop down from above to trigger the OT with the Wraith form.
Has a Wraith form in, so he does touch. He does trigger the OT. Here comes a Wrecking Ball. They're going to use it. Sominsu and Janu down already, though. And New York has all the ultimates in the world to secure this one and secure themselves a third map win in this series. And they will do it. I can't believe it. New York Excelsior coming back, winning it on Nimbani. We are going to map 7.
What a thrilling series this is. NYXL bringing it back in time bank. Gets 6 points. And then they full hold the Titans on their second attack round. Savielby out there looking for high fives. Some of his teammates might be leaving him hanging.
They didn't leave him hanging in game, that's for sure. And some concern on the face of the Titans as they realize it's their map choice, but it all comes down to this next map. Don't go anywhere, guys. It's going to get insane. Just a few.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by T-Mobile, now connecting 99% of Overwatch League fans. Catch your league on America's network, T-Mobile.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is happening. On the back of some great play by Sableby and the rest of the New York Excelsior, we are going to get the treat of a map 7, a map that will be on an escort map, which means that it's nearly 99.9% sure this next map will decide the series. Yes, it's theoretically possible to tie on an escort map. That's not going to happen. Whoever wins this next map is going to the finals.
Yeah, we should have a victor, barring some very ludicrous circumstances. But
yeah, nobody
during
pushes
this series,
at all.
Who knows at this point? It has been so tight.
I mean, New York
Overall.
taking 6 points on Nimbani. I don't think a lot of people would have predicted that. But, you know, New York, with his, as rough as control maps looked for them, and some of those other ones too, they've really, really looked awesome on Hybrid especially.
Yeah, but now we're going to Escort. And remember, this was also the same map type that we saw the Titans select coming off of a loss earlier in this series. They picked Gibraltar, and they crushed the NYXL on Gibraltar.
They did. So the question is, now, was that kind of, they're like, all right, well, this is the escort map we really are going to be ready for, we want to pick just in case. You know, are they going to be as confident on Dorado? Did they plan on having to pick 2 escort maps?
Yeah, I think we've actually seen, you know, we are going to Dorado next, as you say.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler.
Yeah.
Dorado, I think, does make sense. XL do have a losing record on this map throughout the season. Right now, we have seen 5-1 for the Titans. But beyond just the record with all the meta changes, if we think about how successful the Titans were on Gibraltar, it has very similar map architecture in terms of a lot of high ground to play around, and the Titans were extremely good in that scenario. So Dorado also a map that I think is going to reward a lot of the Doomfist Reaper play that we've seen dominate this series. NYXL, they are going to have none of it, though. Look at this.
Yeah.
They're setting up with a Pharah Bastion defense here, at least on A.
Sure enough. And so this will be the map, most likely, where this match is decided. Winner of Dorado is almost certainly going to the grand finals. And we only have to add the caveat almost certainly because it's possible to tie on escort maps, but it's not going to happen, guys. This is the last map. New York Excelsior on the defense. They're going to start things off with a Bastion defense. And what's the plan for Vancouver here? Are they going to stick with the Mei once they see this? I think you probably can. I think you're going to want to use that to block.
Pharmacy going to start things off. You see Twilight on that Ana just to provide a little bit of pressure in the sky.
Yep.
Haxel use that ice block early to avoid going down.
Oh, the sleep dart. Luckily, he lands on the roof. He's okay.
LeRose's going to take a brief nap there.
Yeah.
His trajectory was such that he landed on the roof, which is nice.
Yep.
Could have been disastrous if he landed on the low ground. Janu somehow getting up onto the high ground right there. Twilight still trying to get some damage down. And you know what? They forced the XL back, so now XL have to rotate the Bastion into the choke point.
Yep. Twilight's been a pleasure to watch all season long, man. One of the best Anas we have. That Bastion, though, tough to contest. Janu taking a little bit of damage. Haxel down. That's going to help.
Another sleep dart, though. Twilight doing a really good job on the Ana so far, shutting down some of these threats. But again, with losing a player, they're only buying time. They're trying to stay alive in the side buildings right here, outside of line of sight of this Bastion and Pharah.
I mean, the problem is you have to go out and contest the payload at some point.
I mean, the problem is you have to get your Mei to the rest of your team.
Yeah.
So you might, they're going to try and wall off, I guess, on the approach, but Mei is behind them. Where's the Mei? There it is.
All right, so they do manage to get him back there. They can start to try to push again, Vancouver. The Libero has that. Barrage loaded up, and he's going to get 2 before the sleep dart finds him. So it's a nice sleep dart, but a little bit too late to save the teammates. That said, Vancouver still picks up a couple kills. That payload is still moving. Sableby, though, picking people off, and now Anubis flies in to try to get a bloodthirsty mercy kill, but nope, they gotta contest that payload. It's still moving, guys.
Well, there's Janu's behind them annoyingly right now, so
that's right.
He's actually causing quite a few problems, but the problem should be over as long as Sableby doesn't accidentally explode himself in this tank mode as he's trying to rocket jump around. That barrier negates most of that damage, but it's actually quite a clever, tricky little flank there by Janu. Because
that ended up being much closer than you think it would have.
Well, Janu had some weird positioning that threw the XL off.
So Vancouver regrouping to try to finish point A. Oh man, great shots. That's 3. Without any healing, that would have killed him. 3 shots from Ana without any healing will kill a Pharah.
All right, got to be careful now if you're the XL. You're looking for this gravitic flux from Janu. Don't want to get your Bastion picked up right there necessarily. They do have an invulnerability field, though, for the slam down.
Yep. That's the plan. If they can eliminate Jonak, Maybe they can make something happen here. Nice May wall to push Sable up, make him reposition here, and that's going to make them go and use a Gavidic Flux. Sable firing away. A lot of damage onto him. Can they keep him alive, though? Immortality Field was there. Jonak kills Sominsu, but Titans coming back with quite a few kills of their own. Nice rock onto the Pharah as well. And it looks like the Titans might finally be able to finish point A. Mono buying a little bit more time, but that's it.
Excuse me, Haxel just got up onto the high ground there and got the freeze onto the Bastion, so even better.
Yeah.
Because he retains the Blizzard for this next push. Now, May, not amazing on this next point because the high ground is so important.
Right.
But Haxel may just try and force a fight on the cart anyway, even though it's not ideal, because you don't necessarily want to switch off while you have that ultimate available. Sabiolbe now making a change over to the Reaper. So they are, but they got, they got some decent time off the clock there on A. So not a bad defense so far for the XL, but Titans have a chance to really get rolling with the Blizzard now.
Yeah, it's all about trying to take that momentum from that last fight on A and carry it through. Libro's got the barrage. And it's going to be an Nano Boost. Meanwhile, Violet using that. Janu doing a lot of damage. And Meko down. All right, barrage from Libero. Sleep Dart.
Again.
But again, after he gets 2 kills, they wake him up right away. And he gets out. He's finding these barrage angles, and the Sleep Darts just are not coming in soon enough.
It's one of those times where you're like, well, maybe we shouldn't have stayed on the May because the Blizzard didn't actually end up having too big of an effect. And
you'd imagine he's going to swap now.
He's not.
Staying with it. Okay. Huh. Really concerned, I guess, about...
I think the idea is because you have a Pharmacy, you're going to have a 6 versus 4 on the payload, so you try and force the fight there.
That's true. I suppose you are a bit more durable that way. Not durable enough, though, as Meko does drop down.
Oh, the reload!
Oh, they got him in the end, though. Right out of Wraith form. Libero manages to pick another one up, and New York looking pretty good on the defense for the moment. That payload still got some movement, but it might not get any for a little while there. Haxel gets a right click on the Libero. Wow, that was sick. Oh, Sominsu from behind!
That was so clutch because now the respawns are going to come in. If he doesn't get the 2 kills there with the Death Blossom, then all of a sudden, NYXL have a good chance to hold. Now they have to commit ults to hold this.
All right. They use it. TZ manages to fortify his way out of the Flux. Meko gets a kill on the Slime. New York still kind of keeping that payload where it is, more or less.
Yeah, they've got to fall back, though, Doa. They got hit by the Biotic Grenade, so they're chunked out. So in the end, that Death Blossom actually super high value.
Yeah.
Sominsu.
Speaking of high value Death Blossoms, Sable will be trying to set himself up for one right now. And needs like one more. There we go. He's got it. Coming down from behind. They see him there. Oh, the boost comes in. The shield there. Twilight down. Libero gets 1 kill. And the Supercharger not lasting long. There's the Blizzard now from Vancouver. Can they finish off the rest of New York? They've pushed them mostly away from the payload, but now it's Libero coming back to try to secure some kills as he gets healed by the Coalescence from Jonak. Libero down though, finally, and there goes Animo. So the payload is going to keep going.
Yeah, they're going to just stall it out right now, but they're trickling onto the cards. Sabiolbe not going to last long. 40 seconds left, but the Vancouver Titans will be taking point B.
Wow. So we're going to go into point C. 2 minutes remaining for the Vancouver Titans to get their push done.
Fall back temporarily because of the late spawn there on Sabiolbe. No split spawns though.
Yep.
So a bit of a positive there for the NYXL. Some free payload movement though. Door will open for the Titans.
You get 1 solid stop as the defense. You're feeling pretty good. On point C, Dorado.
And a boost up for the Titans.
Is it on Sominsu? Yeah, this time it goes on to Sominsu, who tries to walk forward here. A lot of that damage absorbed by the kinetic grasp, but not enough to save Jonak. And now Sominsu backs away. The payload has been moving. They gave space anyway for the Titans to push forward.
Again, it's that pressure onto the front line that the Vancouver Titans have. Allows them to get so much movement on the payload.
Yeah.
Chance here to complete Dorado with a minute or so remaining.
Oh, they're close, man. 1 minute to go, but Sominsu nearing another ultimate right now. Gotta watch out for Libero's Rocket Punch, though. That's a problem. His Wraith form was still on cooldown. And here we go. Flux comes in from Meko. This is the fight they want to turn around. Get stunned! Oh, and TZ down. Sealby got 1, but now Libero comes back with another one. Gets 2, and New York's defense is looking very strong. Under a minute now for Titans as they regroup.
Yeah, but you have to ask what the price is, Doa, because Slime nearly has that sound barrier. They're coming in, and we saw how well the NYXL on our last map did with that payload at the last point, punching through with 2 support ultimates, it is very meaningful. But there's not a coalescence, to be fair. So Nano Boost provides durability and some healing onto 1 target, but it's mostly about that damage output.
You got a lot of good targets in Vancouver, though. Might even see that on the Orisa with this push.
Well, could be some Beyblade action as well with something too. And the Death Blossom.
It's quite possible.
Last push here for the Titans.
Yep, that's right. 15 seconds to go. Titans need to get it done now. They're going to start with the sound barrier. Going in now. There's a stun on someone too. Oh, no Death Blossom. It got canceled. Here's a Gravitic Flux. It needs to be big. And Say will be down. That helps. Nice rock. Meanwhile, on to Meko. Libero taken out. Vancouver Titans getting a few kills. But are they enough to push all the way through as we're into overtime now? Haksal looking for kills on the side. And he gets Jonak trying to pick off the strikers on New York. The defense peeled apart by the Doomfist. And here comes a Meteor Strike onto the payload. Damage done. Seismic Slam doesn't find anybody. Sableby manages to dodge a punch, but not the uppercut.
Just stalling.
Libero comes down. That is it. And the Titans get it done in OT.
So close there for the Titans, but they do manage to finish. And remember, because we are on escort, even though they finish on OT, they will get another attack round no matter what.
Wow. Vancouver Titans. So close to getting stopped on point C, but in the end, you know, a lot of that, I think you got to give a lot of credit to Haksal too. He's so good at just scattering the defensive team and then picking off the stragglers, you know?
Yeah, Haksal has been exceptional here tonight, as we expected. Just fantastic damage-dealing player throughout these playoffs, and our Rookie of the Year this year as well.
You know, and we made a comparison earlier to his Genji and how Doomfist and Genji have some similarities, and one of the things that's carried through a lot, I think, is his target selection. It's always extremely good, and he really had that with his Genji play as well, where he knew exactly who on the enemy team was the most vulnerable at that moment, and he would consistently go after that person and get a kill.
Yeah. He's crazy accurate with these rocket punches too, in terms of finding those vulnerable targets, like you're saying.
Yep. He knows how to read a fight in 4 dimensions, man. It's insane.
They go back in time too.
Yeah, no, you can look forward in
time. Oh, look
That's
forward in
insane.
time.
Yeah.
Maybe you don't know. Maybe he fights the first fight, then goes back in time and corrects himself.
I mean, we wouldn't really know, right?
We wouldn't
to us,
know.
it would all just be playing out in real time.
It's crazy either way.
Although if they lose, I think that's disproved. How do you do that?
That's true. That actually is an excellent point.
That's true. Or unless he just wants to stay humble. And he's like, oh, I'm going to go make a lower bracket run. Well, this is it. What could be, what probably will be the final round, unless New York finishes it in this match. New York on the attack. They must get 3 points.
All right, so Pharah Bastion on the attack, just like we saw in their A defense.
Yep.
Sabyl on turret form on that payload. Haksal gonna try come around the flank here.
That's a nice uppercut. Getting people off the payload there. Good seismic slam.
Got the invulnerability field, but that's not enough to save TZ.
Sabyl finally down, but the loss to TZ hurts hard for the Vancouver Titans. Libero does get the kill in the Twilight, though, so it is a bit of a brawl here at the very beginning of the push.
But the respawn timers are going to be there. Jonak tries to jump on top of the building, but Haksal is there to meet him with a fist to the face.
I mean, the jumps from Batista are not exactly subtle. There's a long power-up period. You know where he's going to go. It's a little bit easy to predict.
Yeah, the thing is, though, they can't stop the payload, so great, you won the fight, but payload's still moving thanks to spawns. And they also are going to have, as they go through this choke point, the amplification matrix courtesy of Jonak's Batiste.
Yep. Well, you put out so much healing as a Batiste in this situation, too. Your AoE healing is just crazy. Get that immortality field like we're seeing right there. And Mono picking up kills. New York not stopped. Got that amplification matrix. And they are amped up.
So the difference is this time the Titans did not have the Ana. So there's a lot less pressure on Libero's Pharah in the sky. He's been able to take more aggressive angles as a result of that. Now the Vancouver Titans, they can change their composition, and they've got the extra healing, so they can sort of just run at the payload, right?
Yep.
And it worked a little bit. Now they're going to try and delay here.
One last delay coming in from the Titans here on point A. Libero dies as he gets the barrage. Haksal with the kill on the Meko, and I don't think New York was expecting this. They did not look prepared because they got wrecked.
They definitely did. Bold defense right there, but the Titans know they need every second off the clock. They'd like to, obviously advance to those grand finals.
Well, yeah.
So taking a risk there, but it ends up paying off big time.
Oh, it's huge because, like we said before, like it is true on so many of these maps, point C is so difficult to take.
Interesting swap because they did have the configuration tank, the Bastion ultimate, ready and waiting, and instead they're resetting their economy.
Well, it's hard to get back to a position where you can use it.
Yeah, sure is.
Yeah. Somansu jumps right in. Stunned out of the Death Blossom, though, before he gets any kills. Does bring out the sound barrier now for Vancouver to keep their Reaper alive, and that's going to let Somansu just walk forward. The Flux comes in to put the icing on the cake of death for Vancouver Titans to win another defensive fight. And now, if you're New York, you are terrified.
Well, at least they have the Gravitic Flux, Doa. So Meko, now that they know they don't have sound barrier, if you can catch a few people in here, that could really easily turn the fight for the XL. Twilight, not quite with that Coalescence yet. Will get it quickly. Has it down.
Yep. Titans have a good amount of ultimates.
Watch Meko.
Yeah.
Flux is going to be huge.
Yeah, he needs to land a good one. And Vancouver knows this. They're spreading out pretty well. Rascal, or Haxal rather, wrong team, gets the Meteor Strike, trying to find New York. Comes down. Ooh, no kills out of that one, but Samuel gets one to Somansu. Good start for the NYXL. Now Haxal loading up another one. Nice kill onto Meko. Meko did not end up getting that Gravitic Flux that New York was maybe looking for. That said, the payload is moving a little bit, but they need to finish off this fight. And the Titans are going to provide them with some problems, but no, New York. Like you mentioned, they got the Lucio ultimate, they got point A, finally, but still, 3 minutes on the time bank, and that's a lot less than you want to have going into C.
Yeah, good hold on A by the Titans as they look to close out this series. They also forced the sound barrier from the NYXL, which, as we saw in that last fight, opens up the opportunity at least for a Flux. Didn't end up happening for the XL, but it could happen with Janu here.
Yep. NYXL.
Oh, Somansu actually got stunned there. That could have been dangerous.
Don't worry, he's a ghost. Just wraith away. Or is he? Oh, Animo, he's a ghost now. TZ gets one as Vancouver starts the defense off early. On board with Janu on that Sigma. It's got the ultimate locked and loaded. May not even need it. Somansu and Haxal picking up kills. And it's going to be Libero picking up the kill onto him instead. But Haxal coming in and playing cleanup. Another 2K. Libero still getting more in the back lines, but the payload stopped for now.
Yeah, and he's not going to get anything else, and he's going to get staggered. So the value of that kill on the Somansu could have been good based on respawn times, but it ends up potentially being harmful for them. Though they do get some more movement on the payload here. Titans falling well back to the next choke.
Yeah.
You know, when you have that really, when you finish the map, you know that you can play a little bit more conservatively.
All right, Meko. Brought high. Rock connects. Ooh, can they get the kill? No, the Coalescence is there for Jonak to keep him alive. Janu gets a little bit more shields from the kinetic grasp. And here comes a Meteor Strike. Slam jammed on Animo. Haxal picks another one up on Namato on the way out. He gets stunned, but his team comes through. Libero still trying his best, trying as hard as ever to pick up more kills for his team, but it's just not enough. You gotta feel for Libero. He has played so great all day.
And they got to win the next couple team fights, Doa. This is NYXL's winner bracket run on the line.
That's right. You're not out of the tournament, but you are going to the lower bracket. You got to play another match to make it to the finals. Meanwhile, Vancouver on the verge of sending themselves to the finals in their first season in the league. Meko, not a lot of shield remaining. Libero looking for a place to put that Meteor Strike. Gonna take the safe route, okay? You know, knocked out.
All right, that's a great finisher.
Whoa, Janu down. Libero low, who barely got out of that Coalescence in time. It was close, goes for a Rocket Punch, but that's the Fortified Arisa. That's not gonna work out too well. And now Libero has to back away. The Titans again have claimed control of the payload, and Libero drops. 25 seconds remain for New York, and they have a Herculean task ahead of them.
You gotta get through the rest of this map. They'll get more time if they reach the next checkpoint, but the payload is only halfway through. Luckily, though, it's come down on some of these final pushes again and again to who has most support ults.
True.
The answer is the NYXL.
True enough. But the Vancouver Titans know. They know that winning this fight will send them to the Overwatch League Grand Finals. One team fight win away from going to Philly. Can they win it? We're into OT. This is make or break for New York. Rock comes up. It stuns Somansu in the back line, so it doesn't get anything. Meanwhile, Haxal taken out as well. Slime got one, but maybe Janu can turn this fight into the Titans' favor.
They can, Doa. The sound barrier's there. The Titans are winning.
That's going to help a lot. Twilight's got the Coalescence as well. And New York being chased away. Chased from the payload. Chased down to the lower bracket. Somansu at 2 in the end. And Libero, who's been a hero all match long. Now he and Sabe will be the last men standing. But they just can't get the job done. The Titans do it. They are going to the Grand Finals.
The Titans have done it yet again. They've reached stage finals this season. They've won stage final this season. And now they have a shot to cement their legacy as an expansion team by winning our grand finals in Philadelphia.
And man, so much hype coming in about this team at the beginning of the season. They were huge in Korea's team runaway, and now in the Overwatch League, taking a quick trip to the grand finals.
It's definitely what you want to see as a Titans fan. You only have to play those 3 series, get those 3 wins to make it into these grand finals. Now their opponent will be waiting for them. The NYXL, Hangzhou Spark, and San Francisco Shock still alive.
New York, a little bit stunned, but at the end of the day, yeah, you gotta hold your head high. You took it all the way to map 7 and you're not out yet. You got a chance to come back, get that spot on Sunday now, like you mentioned. But today, it's all about the Vancouver Titans. I know it was prophesied, a wolf came from the east and spoke to us. It howled and said, a team called Runaway will beat everybody. They changed their name to the Titans, but so far so good. Let's send it over to Danny to see what Twilight and the rest of the team have to say.
Montinua, thank you very much, everybody. Give it up for the Vancouver Titans, yeah! Alrighty, before I go into interviewing Twilight, let's actually have the jerseys. Can I get the jerseys right now? Our super fan today, it is a bit more special. The actual whole team is going to sign the jersey and give it to our super fan. So let's start with Janu. 이거 사인을 이제 한 분씩 다 이렇게 사인을 먼저 해주시면 되고요. Twilight, 먼저 we're gonna do the interview. All right, so winners bracket finals. You guys, it was a difficult match, but Titans clutched the win, and you guys are going to Philadelphia. How did you guys get the win against NYXL? 자, 오늘 블리자드 아레나에서 있는 LA에서 있는 마지막 경기였습니다. 좀 어떻게 보면은 쉽지만은 않은 경기였지만은 끝에 가선 밴쿠버 팀이 이기시게 되셨는데요. 오늘 어떻게 이기시게 됐나요?
원래는 저희가 이제 좀 뉴욕을 쉽게 이길 거라 생각했는데 전에 경기에서 리베로 선수가 말했던 것처럼 한 번씩 주고 받자는 식이 진짜로 이를 실현이 돼가지고 경기 자체가 많이 힘들었던 것 같아요.
So coming into today's match, I thought that it was going to be an easy win for us. But as the game played out, just like Libero said in his post-match interview a couple days ago, we did trade blows, and it was a back-to-back match, and I feel like it was a really good match overall. All right, so you guys are going to Philadelphia. How are you feeling right now? Do you have anything you want to say to the fans? 자, 이제 드디어 결승전만 남았는데요. 네, 트와일라이트 선수 마지막으로 좀 팬분들에게 하신 말씀 있으면은 한 말씀 해주시고 지금 좀 소감 한 말씀 부탁드릴게요.
일단 항상 저희를 응원해 주시는 해외 팬분들이랑 한국 팬분들 항상 감사하고요. 이제 결승까지 가게 됐는데 우승으로 보답할 수 있도록 노력하겠습니다.
So thank you to all the fans all over the world, whether you're in Korea or in America. Thank you guys so much for always supporting us. We will reply back to all of your support and love by taking it all in the grand finals. All right, everybody, give it up for Vancouver Titans one more time. How many autographs or how many signatures did we get? 자, 지금 사인 얼마나 누구 하셨나요? 자, 빨리 주세요. 빨리. Could we actually get the fan out first? Our super fan? Hi. What's your name?
My name is Peyton.
Peyton. Do you have anything you want to say to the Vancouver Titans?
I hope they do good in the grand finals, and if there's like a rematch between New York, we're going to beat them 4-0.
알아들으셨죠? 어떻게 해서든 가서 잘하시고 꼭 이기시길 바라겠다고 말씀하셨는데 마지막으로 트와일라이트 선수 해주시고 and then you will get the special jersey signed by the whole team. Alright, let's give them the jersey. 자, 일단 빨리 끝내시고요. 지금 넘어가야 되거든요. Jersey here, everybody, signed by the whole team. Congratulations. Thank you guys so much. Casters, back to you guys.
Thank you, Danny. That was an exciting signing, wasn't it? But Vancouver Titans, obviously, now guaranteed by that fan to do a 4-0 in the final. So it's nice. I'm sure if every fan could dictate that.
I mean, it's Titans today, strong wins, but they only won on Control and on Escort. So I think still some questions. A bit surprising that the XL came out so weak on Control. But
it's going to be a really exciting finals either way. But Check out the lower bracket. Spark Shock playing tomorrow. They are going to face New York Excelsior in the lower bracket finals on Sunday for that second spot. So New York, if you're a New York fan, don't worry, they got another chance here. Let's take a look at our player of the match, brought to you by Omen. Of course, it's gotta be Hawksall. Come on. The guy was insane today on the Doomfist. Like, wherever you thought Hawksall wasn't, that's where he was. And that's where your players were dying as well.
And really the maps that we saw the Vancouver Titans win, especially those control maps, were so dictated by the initial damage and engages that Hawksall was bringing. Because when these teams met in control, it was him bullying Mono in the front line that got them a lot of these team fight victories. Beyond that, though, again, exceptional mechanics, of course, 178 eliminations casually to only 50 deaths.
I mean, 92 of those were final blows,
Yeah,
dude,
pretty good.
so more final blows than anything, and what an insane match. And we're only just getting started this week, guys. That's right, 2 more yet to follow, but this match lived up to everything we could have hoped for. 7 games. So happy I got to be here to cast it. It was great. Don't go anywhere, though, guys. Watchpoint post-show coming up right after this.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by T-Mobile, now connecting 99% of Overwatch League fans. Catch your league on America's network, T-Mobile. State Farm. Whatever life brings your way, State Farm is here to help life go right. Xfinity. Xfinity X5 gives you the speed you need to game like a pro. And by Toyota, official North American partner of the Overwatch League. Toyota, let's go places.